We good to go?
Yeah.
We in the building?
Yeah,
Are
man.
we live?
Yeah, we live, baby. We live, baby.
I'm not gonna lie, I have a thing where when I get inspired, I like to steal.
Oh yeah.
When I get inspired, I like to steal. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Oh,
You sure you're not biracial?
I mean,
You sure that's not the white gene talking, bro?
you know what? I am multicultural, and I have pillaged some cultures. And I'm glad you're here today because I've been accused of infiltrating the Dominican culture.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I have.
Yo,
I am our
unofficial
in-house-
member right here.
Yeah,
Well, hold on. What's T though? What happened?
Yeah.
Where are these accusations arising from?
Thousands of DR trips.
Not thousands, hundreds. I be
hundreds.
uptown too.
Okay.
I am uptown a lot.
Yes.
And I
Okay.
just appreciate the culture.
Mhm.
Beyond the surface level reasons why people appreciate it.
And
But
look at him.
But I thought I was gonna say I'm like, yo, Savon, este tigre dominicano.
Otra vez. Sí.
Ese mismo es Savon.
Primo.
You know?
All right, Alex. So, see, don't do that when the guests come, bro.
I like Rainey.
Me too.
I like Rainey. We gotta
too.
introduce him too.
I'm glad he's in the
Man,
building.
you belong uptown, bro. Don't let him say nothing like that, bro. Like,
That's
come
what
on.
I've been trying to tell Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I support it.
I've
Yeah.
been trying to tell
If
him.
anything, I would fund it. Look at the shorts.
I would
like,
Yep.
I fund this. I'm with that.
You know what I mean?
That's Uptown Savon.
Knees glistening.
Yes.
Thank
You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Yes, ready for some hookah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Always ready for some hookah, man.
Yes.
I cannot wait to get into it. I'm sweating, as you can see. There is a heat wave, okay? So I actually do have a reason to be sweating. For anybody who's watching on the YouTube, thank y'all for joining. I cannot wait to get into this episode. I'm a fan.
Same.
And I'm impressed. And like I said,
Same.
when I'm inspired, I do like to steal. So one of the things I may have to borrow from you in your creative mind, I love the intros to your podcast.
Oh.
Hey.
I love the fucking skits.
They're done well.
I love the characters. I love everything about that. And I can't wait to dive into it. But before we get into that, it is another episode of the Need to Know podcast. What you need to know, when you need to know on the Need to Know podcast. As we have told you, we are doing musical chairs on this podcast.
Yes, and it continues.
And it does continue.
Yeah.
I go by the name Savon, Savon, and that feels really appropriate today because we do have Uptown vibes in the building. That is an ode to Fabulous, in case you didn't know so. You get what I'm saying?
See, I told you he want to be a rapper.
Word to Loso.
Yeah, that's when he getting his
Word
rap.
to Loso. And this week,
Yes.
the N is for New Balance. That's it.
Yeah, we
That's
the
it.
New Balance gang today.
Yeah, we are.
That's it.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
pay attention.
Indeed
Look
we
at
are.
that. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah, look at us all
The N
coordinated.
is for New Balance, man.
That's what's
Yeah.
up, man. MB boys in the building. What's up, y'all? It's your boy A as always. Paco Rabone Poppy, never alone, always with the posse. Only one Alex, and today,
Yes.
Savon, I'm kicking it right back to you.
Yes, indeed.
We have a guest.
We do have a guest, indeed. All right. So, as y'all know, if you listen or you watch this podcast, I have an affinity and it is a necessity for me to wear hats. So, I call myself a man of many hats, but today's guest defines the phrase. He brings the energy of a rhino on Viagra, smashing chicks
Yup.
across an African plain, goddammit. He's a Signal Award-winning podcaster, co-host of the Victory Light podcast alongside the kid Mero and Lisabell, and the creative force behind the incredible album Cigarettes with Dead Men. One of the most talented people in the podcast game. Let's give it up for my guy, Uptown legend, Rainey, man. Let's give it
Yeah,
up.
thank you guys so much. Wow, that was so cool.
Let's
Thank
get
you.
it.
Hola, Poppy.
That was awesome, man. Yeah, baby, you know what it is. It's Big Rainey in the building. Certified yapper in the building. You know what I'm saying? The yap god, rap god, yapaholics. Real yap shit.
Real yap shit.
You know, yeah, we're in the building, man. It's
Welcome.
great to be here. Thank you guys for having
Thank
me.
you.
Like, need to know is like the Game of Thrones of podcasting.
Okay.
Like, I've seen
I love this.
so many people have been killed off like during the different seasons. And I'm like, yo, who's gonna survive?
You just never know.
Hey, man.
Yo, by the end of Game of Thrones, it was like 3 Starks alive, bro.
Hey,
Like,
hey.
that's what this shit feels.
But I ain't gonna lie though. It was a good show,
It's a
wasn't
good
it?
ass show.
That shit was a good show, wasn't it?
Good ass show. That's part of it. You
One of
know?
the greatest.
Yeah.
One
That's
of the
part of it.
greatest.
Real shit though. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. Nah,
Absolutely.
thank you for being here, bro. I truly do appreciate it, especially in this weather, especially with all the things that you got going on. I cannot wait to dive into all the things that you do have going on. I appreciate, and again, I did say that at the beginning in a joking way, how being inspired allows me to steal, but just being inspired really inspires me, right? It moves me creatively, especially in this space where you know, people weed themselves out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. And they do it for a little while.
Yeah.
But to see the consistency and just the excellence in all the things that you do across all of the field, music, podcasting, I actually would like to credit you with acting. I've seen it, like,
he absolutely does that.
all of that. Like you're one of the ones. So thank you for pulling up on the pod. We truly appreciate it, man.
Damn, man. Thank you guys so much.
Nah,
for real.
bro,
Like,
for
it's
real.
an honor.
We only really like to talk to people that we like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And you're fun.
Thank you,
We
bro.
like to have fun here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's another reason I fuck with y'all, man, because it doesn't feel like we treat Victory Light the same, where it's like,
Yeah, I know.
does it make sense for this person to be here?
Yes.
And also, like, do we fuck with this person? You
Right.
know, it's not just about the best look or the biggest, you know what I mean, the biggest potential for viewership or whatever. Like, that's not really how we operate. Like, you could be the biggest star in the world, but if it doesn't make sense for our platform, then we probably not gonna talk to that person. And I feel like you guys move in a similar way, so that's why I fuck with y'all, man.
Thank
Seriously.
you. Thank
You
you.
mentioned Victory Lap. You are one
Victory
of the.
Light.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm over here thinking about Nip. Sorry.
All good,
I'm
man.
bumping him earlier.
All good,
I
man.
want you to speak to Victory Light.
Yeah, sure.
Who's a part of it? What you guys enjoy to do? You know.
Yeah. So Victory Light is a podcast that is Mero's brainchild, which is named after his blog, I think on Blogspot or something like that.
Oh yeah.
From like 2007. Like, he had the blog popping. Like, he had mad people and mad people was tapped in because he was one of the first people to like write the way that he talks online. So a lot of people started, like, Wale was one of the first people to show him love, like, for the blog specifically.
Yeah.
And then he started getting some buzz and some attention. And, you know, then the rest of his career happens, you know, long story short. But he had always had Victory Light sort of like swimming in the back of his head among all his other ideas. And he knew he always wanted to come back to that. And during the Showtime days, he was like, yo, like, I got plans, like, for you, for us, like, you know what I mean? Just hold it down until me and Victor figure that shit out. So I held it down. I did socials for Amazon Sports Talk for a while. They said they needed somebody for the TikTok. I got them to like 60K in like 4 months or something like that.
That boy is good.
Yeah, it was mostly just picking the right clips and like knowing what to post and when. But I held myself down with that position until Victory Light was ready to go. And then Mero called me and was like, yo, are you down to do a podcast with me and this girl, Lisabell Ortiz? Her brother, Radell Ortiz, is like super popping online. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
hilarious.
Stand-up
Actually,
comedian and everything.
He's
Yeah.
great.
I watched that interview and it was dope. Y'all had me dying
Bro.
from the beginning to the end. Like, y'all are really funny.
Yeah, thank you, man, bro. That whole family, like, I call them the Dominican Wayans, bro. That whole family is mad funny. So like, but yeah, so fun fact, the first episode of Victory Light, like, if you go back and listen to that audio of the very first episode, that's the first day Lisabell and I met.
Really?
Yeah. So like we didn't know each other at all. Mero just kind of threw us in a room and was like, all right, let's hit record and let's vibe.
And that was it.
And that was it.
Y'all created magic just like that.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, I didn't listen from episode 1. Not going to sit here and lie to you.
Oh, good.
Right?
Yeah.
But I can tell the chemistry. And you guys got it. Like, the banter, the playfulness, all of that shit is really important in a listening experience. Like, when everything is so heavy, and it's interesting how light is in the podcast, because sometimes you need just a light listen. Everything doesn't have to be so fucking forced, so heavy, so dramatic. And even when you guys do dive really deep, which I want to say, and this is my theory after listening to you speak on your podcast and listening to your music, your skill set transfers between both. Yeah. Because there's a lot of times I'm listening to you speak, especially on like political issues, or when you guys just have some of those deep conversations. Yeah. It shines through. And again, I may have to steal.
Oh my God, nigga, we only 10 minutes in. You done stole 2 things.
Bro, I might have to get in the booth. I might have to rap, bro.
Savon,
I might have to.
Savon, like,
I see what it does for what it does for people who do both, who podcast and actually are artists in that way. So salute to you for like really doing both of those things at a really high level.
Thank you, man.
No, for real. Now, as a podcaster and as an artist, is it difficult for you internally? Or do you overthink the process, or now do you just do the things you want to do?
Okay, so you remember like tape decks?
Yeah.
Or like like the CD changer in the car.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like an 8-track
absolutely.
or something like that.
Yeah. So or like
8-track. Hold up, nigga. I ain't that. Wait. Time out.
Nah,
My uncle's classic.
He went to Granny House with
Yeah,
it.
my
Holy shit.
My uncle has some calls.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you know how in the CD or in like those like old radios where like it had the CD changer and it looked all cool.
Yeah.
Like a jukebox. That's my brain.
Wow.
So like, depending on what I'm doing that day, it's like a jukebox. Like I put in a coin or whatever, and I'm like, okay, what are we doing today? And then I switch from my music brain to my podcast brain, my podcast brain to my writing brain to voice acting brain, voice acting to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so that's it, it's a rotating sort of like it's like a lazy Susan up there. of just
Yeah.
all my different brains, you know.
Yeah. Well, all
So,
those
yeah.
different brains, right?
It's
Mhm.
amazing.
I'm gonna attribute this. So, in case you don't know, one of my favorite people, artists in this world, is Neo.
Mhm.
Neo currently has 4 different girlfriends.
Yeah.
So now, when I hear your brain has all these different levels, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the times I think to myself, because over the last month, I don't know, this nigga, he has a type clearly, because all of Neo's girlfriend's birthday have been in succession.
Oh shit.
They all been like,
Word.
hey, baby girl, it's
Like
me
back to
today.
back
Like,
to back.
It's been back to
Damn.
back to back. So I'm like, wow, like he has to put effort
Mhm.
and time and attention and money and everything into each
Each one
girl
of them,
at some
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, how do you select from that deck of cards or that CD Rolodex that you have in your brain?
Mm.
Like, how do you say, hey, you know what? Today is the podcast brain, voice acting brain, artist brain.
Mm.
How do you give all of it that type of attention? And does some of it suffer because you have to kind of juggle in the way that Neo does with his 18 girlfriends?
That's such a wild, like,
And they all taller than him.
that's such a wild. Hey, he's a man of culture.
Yeah, I know that's
All
right.
right?
I
He's
know
a man
that.
of culture.
He gets it.
I love me a stallion, bro.
Same.
Listen, but nah, you know, I think it's because I've been like my mom is the most supportive person that I've known in my entire life. She's always been in my corner, like so long as I wasn't like hurting myself or like
Right.
hurting anyone else.
Right.
She pretty much supported like anything I wanted to do, really. So like from young, if I decided like, yo, I want to make music, my mom would be like, okay, like what do you need? And then like for that birthday, I would get like some type of music equipment or whatever, or like
That's fine.
same thing for like when I wanted to shoot when I was a kid, I wanted to be like a photographer or something. And you know, that birthday she went and got me my first DSLR, you know? So like
Yeah.
she was always with like, okay, yeah, let's try that. Let's cultivate that. How do you, like, you know, so yeah, so I guess it's been in me pretty much my whole life. So I've never known anything else.
Yeah.
So it's not even really like, I don't turn any of them off really.
Yeah,
Like I'm
I
not, you know
feel
what I
you.
mean? It's more so just like what type of time I'm on in the moment.
Yeah.
So like if I'm not like, for example, if it's something scheduled like this, then I already know I'm gonna have to be on this type of time this day.
Once you arrive.
You know what I mean? But if I like with music, it is tricky though. I've started implementing this do it now strategy,
Okay.
which is where when I have an idea, I execute on it right then. Even if it's when I got up to pee at 3:30 in the morning
Yeah.
and like a song comes to me, if I
Do
go
it.
back to sleep, I will never remember that song.
Ever again.
I will
really.
never think of that song ever again.
He's right.
I have to execute right then, or I lost the idea forever. Because a conspiracy theory I have is tinfoil fitted time. That's right.
Oh,
we
yeah.
we doing
Let's do
cross
it.
segments, baby. You know what I mean? This the victory like need to know
Let's do it,
cinematic
baby.
universe.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
But okay, so I have a theory that ideas. So you ever had an idea and you don't move on it, but it was like passing, and then you discover someone else executed on that idea,
Yep.
and you're like, yo, I thought of that shit a year ago or 2 years ago, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that it's because I think ideas are living things
Mhm.
and they exist in a plane parallel to ours,
Yeah.
and they hop from brain to brain, person to person,
Ah.
trying to will themselves into existence.
Wow.
So if you don't move,
Wow.
if you don't move on an idea, that
Yeah.
idea will abandon you and go to someone else, and it'll keep hopping around from person to person until somebody executes.
You want to know what's funny about that theory?
Yeah.
I want to say I'm thinking a little bit more about it,
Mhm.
but something like that happened with me and one of my friends, creator, actually Mandy.
Oh, shit.
Mandy's new
Oh,
podcast,
shit, yeah.
Selective Ignorance,
Yeah.
right? The
Mm.
concept of it is something that I sat on for so long, and she's killing it.
Yeah,
And she I never told her about this idea, so it's not something like she took or anything from me. It was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
shit, we were just on such a similar frequency. Like we saw a hole in the content game where
Mhm.
taking real life situations, breaking them down and having real life conversations about the things that's happening in the world. Like, it was the exact same concept that I was sitting on for years.
And look at the degrees of separation between the two, y'all.
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
Proximity.
And that's why the theory may hold true, because it's like, yo, I talk to Mandy like every week. That's my dog, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And we never talk about that idea.
Yeah.
But one day she said, hey, I'm dropping a podcast, and this is the premise. And I said, get out my head. What the fuck?
I'm telling you.
You got a key in there or
Like,
something?
what the hell is going on? So
Yeah.
I actually subscribe to that, and I'm going to think about that a little bit more as I kind of like go through my life.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. So that's that. Ever since then, I don't get much sleep lately, but ever since
Rainey.
then, I've adopted the do it now mentality. Like, like if you have an idea, do it right then.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you have to finish the idea in the moment, or is just something you just have to at least start, right?
Yeah, just as long as there's I like to call it like whatever I'm doing, whether it's music or a script or whatever, I call it like the skeleton.
Yeah.
So as long as the skeleton is there, you can build the rest around it. But
Absolutely.
just make sure that it exists first,
I make beats, so I'm the same way, right? I'm like, okay, I think I want this to sound like this. I have to go to work in an hour.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But let me at least start this. And when I come back to it, we can go forward from there.
Yeah.
Rainey, I think I like what you're saying, man.
I don't want to move past my good brother saying he just makes beats.
I do.
Okay. No, you do make beats. You are a producer.
Yes.
But why do I have to find out about your accomplishments online like everybody else?
You didn't. I told you on the air last week. You just forgot.
No, did you tell me? Did you?
I said by this time next week, I would have had a placement on the radar.
Did you?
You can just go back to that
No,
episode.
you know what? I do remember that. I do remember that. Okay, you know what?
Rainey, we got him.
Wait, hold up.
Wait,
You my guy.
wait, you can't handle the Rolodex if you
on.
can't.
I don't have
if
one.
you can't keep up with the.
I don't have a Rolodex, okay? My life is potting. Okay? From producing to talking to creating to all of those things. So I don't have the skill set that you gentlemen have. I don't have that luxury.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
But shout out to you,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you. I
That's
appreciate
dope.
it. He's referencing because on that episode we spoke about kind of just balancing being a potter and just doing other things. So in that last episode, I was telling him, like, you know what? It's funny because I've always not held back the talents that I've learned as of recently, but I really wanted to make sure I knew the things I wanted to do specifically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So for a while, I just kept it to myself. I have a studio in Queens. I was just working out over there. But when you really get to a place where you're like, you know what? I want to share my arts to the world while also taking other industries more seriously. It could be a very surreal moment at times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely, man, for sure. And
Podcast fans, music fans, they're different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's funny because like both require, or not so much music, but I feel like you can engage with both of them either intentionally or passively. So like, if you listen to music, you could listen to music passively the same way you could listen to a podcast passively.
That's true.
Or you could listen to music attentively the same way you could listen to a podcast attentively. But I've noticed they're so different because like they're both very time consuming. You know what I mean? So like it's very rare. Like I feel like there are days where I feel like I want to hear things but not music. And that's when I'll throw on like Need to Know or Decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
That's when I'll throw on, you know what I mean?
Yes.
One of my gang.
Right.
You know? And then there are other days where I feel like, yo, like I'm just trying to vibe or I'm trying to find inspiration because I'm trying to make some music.
Right.
You know, so yeah, like I will, yeah, they are very different. But that crossover does happen, and when it does, it's like it's a pretty neat thing.
That's
You know,
dope.
and I'm gonna tell the truth. I feel a little guilty.
Oh yeah. Why?
I've been consuming less music that I'm accustomed to because of the industry I'm a part of.
Yeah.
Right? Just
It
to
eats
keep up as an owner, just to see what's going on in the field, the landscape.
Yeah.
And at times I'm like, fam, I would run through 10 albums a week.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
But then you're realizing like, yo, it's a balance in things and realizing that you have to show up for things when you have to show up for them.
Yeah. Also, as your radar expands,
Yes.
like you get exposed to more things, but it's the same 24 in a day.
That's the problem.
So like as your net widens,
Yeah.
you end up having less time because it's like you know more artists than you did last year. Therefore, more albums are dropping in your radar than there were last year, you know, and the same goes for podcasts, same goes for any art, really. And that number keeps increasing every single year because more people are getting into it and more people are doing it. So it's like, that's super normal. Definitely very tough to keep up, like nowadays and shit with everything.
He gets
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
He gets
I
it.
want to go back to the podcast really, really quick.
Yeah.
Because I am fascinated with how you guys begin your podcast or just the characters that you all dive into. Obviously, it is if you tapped in, you know that they are voice actors.
Yes.
He specifically,
Yes.
like, I can't remember what episode it was, but you sounded exactly like a news anchor. And I was like, yo, how does he tap into that? Where does that even come from?
Let me hear it.
Well, one thing is that growing up watching the news, it's it's a memory. You have to recall it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm telling you, bro,
You sound like the
it's
meteorologist
crazy.
in Washington Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see here, all of Dykeman will be engulfed in smog. It's hot as
And
fuck
BBLs.
outside. You can see, and ladies, wipe those BBL scars because they will be musty outside. All right, like
That's what I'm saying though. Like it's
Yo.
an instant hook now. Me,
Yeah.
When I do consume content, and I'm just looking at the landscape or whatever the case may be, it's hard for me to kind of turn things off, right? I'm always gonna look at it from a producer brain, from creative brain, right? Like this past week, I went to Fanatic Fest,
Yes,
right at the
yes.
Jacob Javits Center. It was all of these athletes, stars. Kevin Hart was there, LeBron was there.
Yeah.
I almost passed out. I ain't gonna lie.
We don't blame you.
No, I almost
Damn.
died.
We don't blame you. It's
But
okay.
there was a ton of people in the building, and I always hit this moment when I'm there. I think this is why I don't enjoy festivals or concerts, because at some point it hits me. After I realize, oh my God, I'm having fun, I'm a fan, it hits me like, holy shit, I want to be on the other side of the curtain. I want to be on the other side of the table. So I can't fully enjoy myself.
Oh, so you want to be Tom Brady.
You get what I'm
So
saying?
you're going to pick up football next week.
I may try it all,
You're
whatever
sick.
it takes to get there.
No,
like that's just where I'm at this point.
You're a Potter now.
Yeah. No, it's in a way you're never not on.
Never.
You're never not
And it
working.
sucks.
Yeah.
Never.
And it truly does suck because you want to just enjoy it. I after a while, once I realized, hey, you're here, this is fun, this is dope. You're seeing all of these athletes. Athletes are like superheroes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? They're the closest things that we have to a superhero.
Yeah.
Athletes and maybe actors, entertainers in general, but them specifically because they're like superhuman. Like, what the fuck do you mean you can just run 100 yards and not get tired?
Yeah.
Like, that's not normal. I know we take it for granted as if it is, but like, as somebody who just crossed 30 and is back in the gym and working out, it's like, wait, hold up.
Yeah, I mean, bro, motherfuckers was playing with Cat Williams like he couldn't run a sub 40 in sandals. We seen him do it. He did it in Atlanta.
Come on.
Like, did we not watch? Hello? Did we not watch the show?
Hello.
He did.
He took off in a robe and sandals, bro.
And they always
Sub
mad
40,
at him
bro.
because they don't work out.
What are we talking about, bro? Cat's really, I fucking love Cat Williams, bro. Listen,
Dream guest?
Cat, I'll race you myself, all right? You know what I mean? I take that title from you. I run a sub 40 in less time than you, brother.
you know?
That's actually really good. That's actually really fucking
I like
good.
that. And he's leading me to my next point.
Thanks.
When I think about, we briefly spoke about podcasts before, the cameras cut on. And one of the questions I had on my mind that I didn't want to waste during that time was, what are your favorite kind of podcasts, right? And I'll speak specifically. My only type of podcast, well, the ones I like the most, there has to be a level of comedic relief. Throughout it, within it, I need that. I can't do the murder, kill podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do the newsy. It's too serious. To me, I think a perfect podcast is one that incorporates a lot of humor, right? Just to kind of lighten some of the load and the topics. So, Rainey, I want to ask you, what are the best sort of podcasts to you? Do you subscribe to the same theory as me?
I kind of want to hear people that look and sound like me talk about things, because I feel like in the entertainment space, not to be that friend that's too woke, right? But
be woke.
But like this is a white male dominated space. So all of entertainment always has been. That's why like a movie that we have never seen in this room will somehow win Best Picture.
Right.
Despite nobody in the hood having watched that movie.
None of them niggas.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's two Americas, bro. Like it's two Hollywoods. It's two entertainment sectors, right? So like some shit will crack off in in like those white spaces or non-black, non-brown spaces, and be the subject, the subject, and be the star of the show, the subject of the hour. You know what I'm saying? Like the what you call it? Like the monster of the week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Just
in
dominating
white
like the
spaces.
news cycle.
Yeah,
Type shit. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
You
What
can't
is
escape
this?
it.
Yeah, but then you know, just to name like the biggest fucking example in the world, like Joe Budden. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then like you'll tap into like Rogan and Budden could drop on the same day. Both those episodes will be 4 hours, and nothing they talk about will overlap.
No.
And they'll both do 1 million.
Yup. They're still gonna do fine.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, my type of podcasts are in the sort of Joe Budden victory light, like need to know decisions verse. You know, where it's like people like us talking about shit we talk about. You know, that's my type of shit. And also, one guilty pleasure podcast is called The Exorcist Files.
Okay.
And it's this guy Ryan Bethea, who partnered up with this actual ordained exorcist and priest called Father Carlos Martins.
Okay.
And they talk about different like real life exorcisms that he has done.
Wow.
But they'll have like voice acting and dramatization of like the cases and shit.
Now you got me.
Yeah.
Because somebody's gonna be doing a funny ass little voice.
Yeah.
See, you got me. That's dope.
Yeah, somebody gonna hit the Cindy, this bitch is messing up my floor. And then you're gonna be tapped in forever.
Here come the demon. Oh.
Yeah.
Here come the demon. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. So the Exorcist Files is like like one of my. I finished it though. It's not a long running one. It was like a semi.
Limited.
Yeah, it's like a semi scripted sort of limited series, but
Nice.
I really like that one. But yeah, mainly just like people who are tapped into the culture and shit. But like also people with like an air of professionalism.
For sure.
Like you guys, us, Budden, like
absolutely.
You know, like it gotta look like you give a shit.
It can't just be, you know, the homies
in the kitchen.
And you know what I mean by
I know what you mean.
You know, like, I get what you're saying. Like, barbershop talk is cool, right?
Yeah.
Of course, when you go to the barbershop, you have those conversations, these debates. But like you said, at this point of podcasting, you know who cares and you know who doesn't. Even if you don't have this elaborate setup and all of these cameras, there's still a certain production value, a certain preparation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a certain professionalism that goes into it that says, hey, I care.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's pretty much all that matters if you're doing this shit.
Yeah, and like just a word of advice for anyone that's trying to do this shit, like even if you don't have the best cameras, invest in audio first. People will excuse bad video before they overlook bad audio. Like you can have the crispiest video. I found this like just years of doing this shit and years of consuming this shit. I found in myself that like I am more willing to look past bad video than bad audio. Like you can have the crispiest video quality in the world. If your shit is not sounding velvety, you know what I'm saying? Most people are tuning out.
And going back to like, you know, Joe kind of being a standard, especially in this culture, that's one of the things that really drives his podcast is the quality.
Yeah.
It's literally an audio adventure, as what he calls it. Like, because the quality, the songs that he plays on his podcast sound better on his podcast than they do in my car.
Shout out to Parks.
Like, shout out to Parks.
Shout out to Parks.
And you know why? Because Joe be hitting the, Joe be hitting the, how's everybody doing in the building tonight? We got Barks in the building. We got Queens Flip in the building. We got Mel in the building. Everybody feeling good? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, this is the shit.
Right here. I want to be here for this.
It sounds exactly like that. I do want to go back to just the point of representation that you said when it comes to music and culture and conversations and podcasts. I love the fact that you on your podcast, the entire cast, y'all double down on this is Latin culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Embracing
there's a lot of
who you
pride in what it is that you do. And I hate the fact, like you said, this is a white male-dominated space. And that's just the America we live in.
Yeah,
right?
it's just what it is.
By
capitalistic
default,
country.
Whatever it is.
What it is.
But I do think it's important for people to represent who they are, where they're from, and you guys do that on full display. Again, man.
Yeah.
you can adopt me. I've been adopted by
Thank
others.
you, bro.
Okay, I've been adopted uptown already. Don't
Yeah,
get it. But for me, it is a sense of pride in that because there's a lot of cultures that go overlooked. There's a lot of talent in this space in particular that goes overlooked. And the fact that you guys, pretty much any chance you get, say, hey, this is what it is. Like even when you were doing the Trump impression, I want to say maybe even Mero was doing a Trump impression one time on the podcast, and you guys make sure to mention that, hey, he's speaking to the Dominican culture right now. Right? Like no matter what it is, you guys bring it back into the pot. So I think that's really dope, especially when it comes to like representation and just creating on that level, because you guys have a really dope platform. Like even Lama, I'm about to air you out. Sorry, love you, bro. Even Lama, our engineer, I told him, hey, this is who we have today, right? Because again, like you said, Game of Thrones podcast, you never know who's gonna be on this motherfucker. Niggas just be dying on this bitch. Hey, one day they go to next.
You never know.
Savon the Jon Snow of this shit, bro.
I'll be coming back alive, nigga. I died and count me out, I'm back. But while he was setting up, I was here at the studio and he was like, hey, who you guys have coming in today? And I was like, oh, we got Rainey. He was like, oh shit, Rainey from Victory Light? I'm like, yeah. He was like, yo, I'm tapped into their pod.
Oh, cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so even the engineer, he's super tapped in and he told me so. I think it's super important. The dope thing about podcasting and just creating anything in general, but again, I'm not a rapper. I don't have that skill set. I'm not an artist in that way. I find it really cool that you just never know who's listening. And so when you get a chance to just kind of speak to the things that you feel passionate about or you can inform people about, I think that's really dope. And you guys do an amazing job of just inviting us into like that living room, that living space of the culture. So thank you for that.
No, man. Thank you guys for being tapped in. Thank you, Llama. Thank you, Llama.
Like the animal.
Thank you, Llama, bro. We appreciate you.
But before we move off of the Victory Late podcast, I do want to know, I have a question in regards to the skits. Because for me, when I listen to you, it's a mix between SNL, Uptown.
I like that.
And the early stages of the Joe Budden podcast.
Yeah.
That chemistry, the structure, the whole vibe. That's what I hear when I listen to your podcast.
Thank you.
Right? So I do want to ask, whose idea was it to kind of just get into character in a way that you guys do?
I sort of just, I don't want to say, like, I don't want to take all the credit, but I sort of just started doing voices. And then, like, those voices, like, they kind of just came back, you know, like
Byron, you know, he's obsessed with Baja Blast. You know, he just loves Baja Blast. That's just his thing. You know, he'll do anything for Baja Blast. As long as it's not that code red shit. All right? Get that fucking code red out of my face. Byron only fucks with top shelf.
You know, so he be coming back.
It's a Taco Bell shit.
You know, there's also Trompito. Ya ustedes saben lo que está pasando por aquí.
Ah, sí.
¿Tú me entiendes? Yo soy el comandante, coño. Oíste. Tú sabes, no lo confunde.
The fuck did you just say, man?
Wait, hold up. I can translate for you.
No, let's hear this.
Hold up.
No, Rainey, don't say a word.
I'm not saying nothing.
Keep going.
Savon!
Keep going, Rainey.
Savon!
No, Savon, dale para allá, coño.
Venga.
Dale para allá, Savon.
Coño, papi. Ah, diablo. Oh, shit. Yo no sé.
He really adopted you.
Hey, man, shut up. Relax.
You know what I mean? He's stealing again.
Appropriator right here. This appropriator.
No, but it was just, like, I just started doing voices and they just kind of stuck. And also, Mero's just on it. Like whenever we break into character, like whenever we do, and Liz just be chilling. Like she'll just be in the cut, like just watching us go back and forth. And she'll always be like, yo, I can watch y'all do that for 3 hours, bro. Cause like we're just like that. It's like back and forth. And I think of all the skits, I've only ever written like actual loose script for the skits maybe 3 times ever.
Really?
Yeah, most of them we come up with on the spot and then we just go. Like we just roll and we just do it.
Holy shit.
That's fire.
Thank
That's
you.
impressive.
Thank you. Yeah.
But you know what, though?
Holy
I think you
shit.
guys have created that type of environment, right? Where the 2 of you, the 3 of you guys actually feel comfortable if Liz is involved, whether she's not involved, as to where, like, when we get it started, we can keep improving and it works.
Yeah.
It's a certain level of comfortability that has to be in the room.
Yeah, like the Get on the Ship skit. People really like that one. For those of you that don't know, there's a skit we've done twice now on Victory Light where an alien ship comes to rescue everyone, but they're starting with gay people first. And the joke in the skit is that Mero's name gets called to get on the ship, and the whole skit is him arguing that he's not gonna get on the ship because they're saving gay people first. So he's like, "Yo, hold on, but I'm not gay," and I'm like the alien, and I'm like,
You can save your entire family from total annihilation if you just get on the ship, Mero.
and he's like, no, but I'm not gay though. Like, you're rescuing gay folks, and like I'll get on the ship, but I'm not gay. It's like,
Mero, your name was called. Just get on the ship. Admit that you're gay and get on the ship. Save your family.
so like people really enjoy that one.
No, that's fire.
Wait, hold up. You got thoughts? Save your family?
Yeah, exactly.
What we doing?
You know,
You better
yeah,
go.
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
It's like, yo, what?
You better go and blend in.
It's like, yo, what's that thing in that chair? I'm not sitting on that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's shit like that. So
Yeah.
that one was all improv. It's just like, yo,
That's fire.
you know, what if a gays only rescue alien ship comes and they try to get Mero on board, and then we just riffed. But then there's other ones that are written, like the Kenan Thompson one.
Oh, wow.
I wrote that one. We sort of loosely followed it, and also like Kenan is so like he treats everything with the same depth. So like this is just this like 2-page little minute-and-a-half skit that I drew up somewhere, and Kenan is really sitting there with us workshopping the shit. Like he's really like, maybe I should say something else because I don't think that really makes sense here. And I'm like, yo, like I'm bugging out, like I'm tripping, bro. Sitting next to Kenan Thompson workshopping my little minute-and-a-half script, like it's really, you know what I mean? It's really game time, and like my eyes lit up, bro. Like so it's so cool, like, you know, being able to do this and like being able to sit next to a Kenan Thompson and have him be like, you know what, I think it'd be better if we do this and like really take the shit serious. But I digress. Between the Eric Adams getting arrested skit and then the Kenan Thompson skit, those are probably the only two that I've actually written. The rest we come up with a general concept and then we just riff.
I actually got 2 questions for you. The first one is, well, actually, this is not even a question. It's just a statement. Going back to like turning it off. Kenan, he can't turn it off. So if you put a skit or a concept or an idea in front of Kenan Thompson, who's a legend when it comes to improv, when it comes to sketch comedy.
And who's been doing this shit since like 12.
Yeah, since bro, like I had hair when he was doing this shit. My nigga. Like, I had my whole hairline was intact, gang. For real. Like he's been doing this for a very long time. I think the most tenured member of SNL, right?
Yeah, the longest running cast member, yeah.
So when you get an opportunity to workshop your idea with him, and you're like, I can't believe he's like really going
diving in
with my idea. He probably can't even turn it off.
Yeah, even if he wanted to.
Which is crazy.
Yo, when you gonna make the when you gonna make the, you know what I mean?
Yo, I'm not gonna front your shit fly though.
That shit hard.
Thanks, man.
So for the audio listeners, we're looking at the top of Rainey's head, and he has a plethora of tattoos. Looks really, really fucking dope though. I'm not gonna lie.
That does.
Thank you. When you gonna make the jump, man?
You want him to tat his head?
Wait, you mean the tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh,
tat your shit, bro. What's up?
Know,
what you gonna put on there? Ozuna?
Otra vez. Otra vez.
He gonna put a big ass Dominican crest on his shit. Oh my god.
Nah, that's really dope and really creative.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Really creative.
Did it hurt? I gotta ask that real quick before we got it. I'm sorry. Did that hurt on the top of your head?
Well,
needles like that?
If you have a full head of hair, it might.
Okay.
But for me, because I shave my heads regularly and like often, it just kind of felt like I swear to God, like both my shins hurt way more than this. My thigh hurt way more than this. Like I fell asleep for this. So.
Oh yeah, you know your brain in there, right?
Yeah. It felt like nice.
Wow.
So I fell asleep. Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna find out.
Kinky. Hold up.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No, it felt like, you know the massage chairs at the mall.
Yeah.
You know when they get up to your neck and then your whole head goes like it starts rattling.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Got you a little needle kink.
He put the needle on his head and said, "Oh, that made me feel good."
Damn,
he said, "Leave it."
See now I feel like Reverend X. You figured me out. You caught me red-handed.
We got him. We fucking got him.
man.
No, that's
Oh,
super dope,
man.
man. Even like the Kenan Thompson episode, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever have one of those moments where it's like, wow, this is on the podcast that I'm a part of. I really have a chance to kind of do this in this way, in this space with all the talents that you have.
Yeah. It's important to know like time and place, right? Because like, yeah, we have all these guests and it is a great opportunity, but you also gotta know when is the right time to sort of bring things up or like how to correctly navigate a situation, right? Because like Kenan Thompson came through to do a thing. He came through to hang out with us and to get interviewed and to talk about his book, you know what I'm saying? Like just like every guest has come through to like just hang out, really do the thing. But like me as a writer, I'm not just gonna drop my script in front of Kenan Thompson, like, yo, by the way, now that I have you here, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we've had Mike, we've had Mavi, we've had Lomiel, like we've had rappers on the show. We had Cash Cobain. Me being a rapper, like, I'm not about to, like,
Yo,
by the way, here go this track, by the way, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a time and place type of thing. So like, you know, yeah, I do appreciate the opportunity, but there is also sort of an art to navigating these opportunities.
People need to understand that.
Yeah.
People truly need to understand that
People
because
just become so starstruck.
they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they don't understand like you have to almost manifest that you're supposed to be in these rooms. It's act like you've been there before.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
what it is. It's like, yes, I am a fan of you. This past week, Alex and I, we had a chance to meet Pusha T and Malice, the Clips. They came to the studio to record with Elliot Wilson. Shout out to Elliot. Shout out to all those guys.
Fire, shout out Elliot.
But they came in here, and it takes a lot for me to really get not even starstruck, but just moved by meeting certain people.
Yeah.
And my family, my friends, they know I'm a massive Pusha T fan. If you've been listening to this podcast, you know my range goes from Pusha T to Ed Sheeran to Nia. Like Pusha T is on my Mount Rushmore of just people. And so for him to be in our studio recording content on these, like, I don't know which chair he sat in, but his ass was in one of these chairs.
Savon, that's
and
nasty.
Our asses is Eskimo
Savon.
brothers with the Clips.
That's nasty.
Honestly,
okay.
Think about it.
I agree.
We share the same. You know
That's
what I mean?
crazy. Sitting in a chair sitting in a chair that Malice probably sat in.
Look what did you wash your hands?
Not yet.
Are you here to
I'm riding dirty. I'm riding.
No, my brother
dirty.
was. I ain't gonna lie. He kept himself contained.
I did.
He was respectful. You know, we're owners here. We always do a good job of that. But I ain't never seen Savon like that. That is true.
I was moving different. Like,
but sometimes you have to let it. You have to let it happen. Like sometimes you gotta let the kid in you out.
Yes.
You know, but like
in an appropriate way.
Yeah,
there's a balance, like you said.
There's a balance.
So it's a time and a place, right?
Yeah.
The time and the place for me. So this is the second time I got a chance to work with Pusha T. The first time I was pretty much a hybrid of like an intern, like entry level producer for Joe.
Yeah.
When they did the historic interview with Pusha T at Joe's house when he was beefing with Drake, I was there, right? And I remember that, but I was there on, you know, intern turns kind of shit. Producer terms. Like I was just in the room. But for him to come to this studio, it just hit me a little bit different and having that comfortability. But again, also recognizing there's a time and a place, right? At that point, back a few years ago when I met Pusha T, it wasn't my time to say, hey, I'm a massive fan. I appreciate what it is that you bring to the culture. Thank you. That wasn't the time.
Right.
At that point, it was, hey, Joe, when do you need these files to go up? Pusha T, you good with how this picture looks? Cool. Let me just keep going about my business. This time around, it's like, hey, Push, we own the studio space. I just want to introduce myself and say thank you for what it is that you bring to the culture. I'm a massive fan and have a great day. You and your brother Malice, right? It's a time and a place. So I'm glad that you can recognize that. And there's a lot of people listening to you who probably is like, yo, if I was in a room with Mero every single day, I would do X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? So for you to say something like that, it does mean a lot.
And most people don't know. Here's a cheat code. If you really want to become best friends with a very prominent figure, act normal.
Yeah, act normal.
I know it sounds crazy.
That's all it is.
But they're actually going to appreciate that and be like, you know what? I feel comfortable around that person. They're not treating me like a zoo animal.
Yeah. And also, like, whatever you do is going to come up in conversation at some point.
Absolutely.
If you hang around long enough, like, you know, I don't got to mention that I rap or produce or whatever. Like, at the minute that I show up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
you just got to keep showing up
That's
until you know,
They'll
until it matters. And that's something I had to shout out to Arturo, one of our editors. But like, that's how I got Arturo to handle that. I was just like, yo, Arturo, like, we're shooting this podcast. Just come with me, because we were shooting at a studio at 368, which like sadly isn't there anymore. But it was Casey Neistat's studio.
Got you.
So Arturo, our editor, he fucked with Casey. He'd been watching him forever. So I'm like, yo, we shoot this thing at Casey's studio. That's like your wheelhouse. So just come through. And Arturo, he played it just like that. He didn't really say a word. He was a little confused at first. He would be like, yo, what exactly like am I doing here? And I'm like, yo, bro, like, just be here. And sometimes like that's really all it takes. Because now, fast forward to now he does our final edits. Mandy been after his ass.
I bet.
Mandy was like,
Mandy steals. Mandy steals. Okay. I love Mandy. Mandy steals.
Mandy was like, I'm gonna find your editor, and I swear to God, when I find him, he's gonna be mine. No, seriously, like, you guys don't post him anywhere. No socials, nothing.
That's how she be when she excited.
Like,
Honestly,
Yeah.
I stole stealing from Mandy.
Yeah.
Still.
That's how I got on.
You know what I mean?
Mandy showed me how to steal the right way in this game, man. Shout out to Mandy.
Yeah.
Oh, she actually dropped the book too. Shout out to her.
Oh, yeah.
Weezy, they dropped
No
No
Horrors.
Holds Barred. Shout out to them, man. That's super dope.
Yeah.
I do have one more question, just in relationships to the podcast. Is how did you and Mero meet? How did y'all build y'all relationship? Because like you said, with the skits, sometimes you guys just riffed, and now me knowing that is not even planned, knowing that this is just natural chemistry that you guys have, that shows a relationship there. You know what I'm saying? So how did you guys even meet in that way?
So I wanna extend that to give flowers to the whole crew, because like, it's not just me and Mero, it's not just Mero and Liz, it's not just the three of us even. Everybody pitches in.
Love that.
Like, everybody, and it's a small team. It's like 7 of us. But everybody pitches in somehow in every respect. Like, if it's something that Hassan really wants to talk about, he may not be a voice on the show, but we will make sure to talk about that thing
And incorporate it.
You know what I mean? Because it's important to Hassan. Like,
I
he
love
thinks
that.
that if it's something he thinks that we would do that would do well, and something that would be interesting to talk about, we include it. Same with the skits. Like, sometimes Hassan will be like, yo, it would be hilarious if you do like Trump and Elon at Mar-a-Lago doing Obama Tusi. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, boofing Obama Tusi, bro. Like, so everybody contributes. Min is a fucking fantastic producer. He gets us great guests. Like, he got us Mike, he got us Mavi.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So everybody contributes. But how I linked with Mero specifically, I think he had always known about me one way or another, just off the content shit. He always fucked with my music. He always fucked with like the Hearst Boys thing that I got going on, just like the gaming and streaming stuff. But on the content side, I did a video series called 31 Nights, 31 Frights. I'm a big horror fan. Halloween's my favorite. Like, autumn's my favorite season. October's like my favorite time of the year. So I dropped a review of a horror movie every day for the month of October.
Wow.
So so I reviewed 31 films. I did all that shit myself. One of which was Vampires in the Bronx, which was a movie that Mero was in, and it's just it's like allegory for gentrification. It's really not that deep. These white vampires, they come to this black-brown neighborhood, suck up all the culture.
Yeah,
You know
gentrified.
what I mean? Yeah.
So,
you know
bro.
what I mean? Yeah.
So, bro.
That's
nasty.
The piano district. I will rob you on the spot.
Yo, that's nasty.
Fuck out of yo.
So, bro, it's
That
a
shit
real
is
thing.
bad.
Like,
Yeah.
I had a friend who was looking to move in different areas, and she's
Yes.
from LA. She's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, so have you ever heard of this area called like Sobro?"
What the fuck is
Bro,
so
I was like, "Wait,
listen,
the
bro.
Bronx?"
I heard somebody
Time out.
call it pie dye once.
Pie dye?
Yeah, the piano district.
Oh, stop it.
I heard somebody say that shit one time ever. I almost boomed myself in the middle of the street, bro. I almost took my own life in front of all these strangers.
No, because we live in one of those cities where a lot of people move to.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of transplants. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But so Mero, he saw my review of his film, and he was like, "Yo, like, that was fire. I like the way you talked about it, and I like the way you were critical without being a dickhead." Like, that was one of the main things where he was like, "I like that you you knew how to critique something without being reactionary and without farming, without clip farming. I hate that shit, bro. You'll never catch me clip farming, yelling and screaming, hooting and hollering, acting a fucking fool.
But tell them what clip
chasing a
farming
clip.
is real quick, for the old niggas.
Yeah, so clip farming is essentially when you make reactionary or incendiary content on purpose because you are trying to literally farm a viral clip out of the content you are making as opposed to making meaningful content, right? So like the most recent example I can think of on a very, very grand scale is Kanye's Heil. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's like you farming for the moment. You know what I mean? You fishing for the moment. Like that song didn't need to exist. You were throwing a tantrum and you wanted attention.
Exactly.
That's all clip farming is. It's just treating this content shit disingenuously and then, you know what I mean? Like sort of pimping it.
But it kind of speaks to you and Mero's character.
Yeah, we're just not doing that.
Yeah, like we can be funny. We can talk about a lot of the things you guys joke about, but just doing it in our way.
Yeah,
right?
and it's about not forcing it.
Right.
So that chemistry kind of just came naturally because he saw something that you were doing. He was like, yo, I fuck with how you move. Yeah. Let's work together. And now you guys are able to just riff off of each other in that way.
Yeah, so because he was like, he saw that and then he was like, yo, come run TikTok for us at Showtime. And that room, that is probably legit like my favorite batch of coworkers that I've ever had. Wow. Because that whole socials team. So we were in the digital department, and it was shout out Paulie, shout out Amelia, shout out to Wanda. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it was mad. It was like 7 or 8 of us. Again, another small team, all handpicked by either Mero or Deezers. And we was running socials. We was running up the numbers in there. You know, like just making sure the shit was good. You know what I mean? Like. You know, back when that shit mattered.
Before the algorithm. But when you were the algorithm. When you was based on what it is that you did, and it was just fucking cool and great.
Right.
What year was that, Rainey? You remember what year?
2022, I believe.
2022.
Okay.
2022.
Cool.
Yeah, and I mean, it was just about like picking the right clip that would stay true to the brand, but also speak to and appeal to consumers of that platform. Right. So like, what's the best clip for TikTok as far as Deezers and Mero, right? And then like one that I picked that went super viral was the Damson Idris when he confessed that he was British at the end of like when he wrapped filming for Snowfall. Yeah. When the whole cast found out he's British, and I was like, oh, this is going up on TikTok. If I do the little captions and I spell it phonetically, and like people gonna get in the comments, like you know what I mean? Like so, it was
you knew, which is a gift in itself. Thanks. And again, this is why I truly enjoy talking to people like yourself. Is because there's a different layer to just creating content than just doing this on camera. Yeah. Right? Like, it's a reason why you're here. It's a reason, you know what I'm saying? Because
thank you, man.
It takes a certain level. Like, a lot of people just look and say, oh, he's with Mero, so he's in the proximity of success. Or he's with Joe Budden, so there is a proximity of success because this is why he's here, because they're there, right? No, but it's like, for these people who are at the top of the food chain, for them to identify the talent within you, it's a certain skill set that you had to build in order to even get on their radar. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something that you do. So as great as you are on camera, with your voice acting, with your takes, all of that stuff, your music, there was something that you worked on prior to getting there, which is your marketing eye, which is knowing, oh, this is going to fucking go when I press this button.
Yeah. It's and also like it's how I ended up on like SDNAC's radar, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but even through Victory Light too, because Knack, I guess somebody sent Knack a clip of us doing like one of his ad libs, like on camera, and
You mean the one that's featured on your project?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that, Alex.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. God damn it.
Let's finish what you were saying, Rainey, and we'll get into that. I'm sorry, Rainey. Yeah.
No, it's all good. But it's like, you know, just sort of working at it and like knowing what to look for and knowing what to put out.
Yes.
Gets you in those rooms and in those spaces. And yeah, it's about more than just getting in a room, firing up the cameras and going, let's roll. Because like, what y'all see, right, is the finished product. Y'all don't see the Zoom meetings. Y'all don't see the doc. You know what I'm saying? That's what we call it, the doc, which is where we throw all our ideas. And then shout out to Min, shout out to Redacted. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Min and Redacted for always, you know, getting in there, making sense of all our wild ass thoughts and putting something substantial together out of that becomes the show that you end up watching or listening to.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cigarettes with Dead Men.
Yes.
Let's get into it. The album.
Yeah.
April drop.
Yeah.
And
On a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. I like that.
Thank you, Jesus.
I
Bring
love
it back.
that. I love it.
Bring it back,
right?
please.
People were like, "Yo, so you just dropped this on a Tuesday?"
I
love it.
And I'm like, that was
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
standard.
Yes.
We need to get back to dropping on Tuesdays.
And
Yeah.
whoever listened to that project went to work on Wednesday
Uh-huh.
and Thursday
Uh-huh.
and Friday,
Uh-huh.
and the album was a part of their rotation as opposed to going into the weekend. We've talked about that numerous times here on this platform. Now, I listened to the project and I love your style of hip hop. I'm not telling you just because you're here.
He
You know,
did-
like-
he actually he hit me on the
Thanks
side
so much, man.
He was like, "Yo, this shit fire." I'm like, "Hey, this is what we're gonna talk about, discuss, like tap in."
Yeah.
And normally, so me and Alex, we have this relationship where sometimes we leave each other on red. Okay, that creates like the best content in conversation.
You leave me on red.
No, we leave each other on red sometimes. But when I sent him the project,
I'm sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
Hot take, that's just men.
Yes.
no, for sure.
That's just male
It's
friendships.
true, Rainey.
There's legit just male friendships.
What is there to talk about once we receive the message?
But that's how I knew your project was fire. Because the motherfucker responded to me. I said, "Oh shit!"
damn.
He was like, "Yo, this shit is hard, bro. Like, I'm about to dive into this shit for real." So
Yeah, that means a
salute
lot.
to you,
That
bro.
means a
for
lot.
real.
That means a
And
lot.
you make, I'm not going to call it boom bap type of rap, right?
So not to.
And I heard the Maluma. We're going to get to that.
Oh,
No, we gonna get to
All
that.
right, we're going to get to that. I'm
I'm
just talking
claiming
about the
that
hip hop
record.
stuff
Yeah,
first.
thank you.
We're going to get to the hip hop first.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
But I make, you know, not to sound like pretentious or whatever, but like I make what I want to make. I make what I
Love
feel
that.
like making.
Yes.
And because the projects before that, so I was on a goth sort of like dark wave. Like I was in a different bag before Cigarettes with Dead Men.
Got you.
And I put out a series of EPs and an album called Seasons. And it's all like dark wave goth electronic music blended with like some drill, blended with like some hip hop, some R&B.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's a lot of dark sounds, it's a lot of experimental shit. Definitely not something people expected from me.
I'm into that.
Yeah, you know, so and you know, from a marketing perspective, I figured that it was infinitely marketable if I made music based on the seasons of the year, which are guaranteed to happen every year. It's like holiday shopping, you know, like Christmas gonna come around, Thanksgiving gonna come around. You know them sales gonna, you know they're gonna get the candy out.
always.
For
Mariah Carey.
Halloween, you know what I'm saying?
Mariah Carey,
right.
goddammit.
Her yearly
Right.
check.
Right.
She's actually in the top 10 R&B artists of all time because of Christmas.
Because of All I Want for Christmas.
Reoccurring.
Yeah. So I had the same idea with seasons, and I put out Dark Summer, Solemn Autumn, Sullen Spring, and Urban Tundra.
This nigga was depressed.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's goth, bro.
Yes.
It's goth
you're
music,
right.
bro,
You're
you
right.
know?
You're right.
And yeah, so after that, I decided like, okay, another thing about me is I need to see things through. So once I started Seasons, I was like, I can't veer off of this until this is done, until this saga
Yeah.
is complete. So I finished that. And then I got back heavy in my like Griselda bag.
Okay.
I can
And
hear
in my mic bag and
I
in
can hear it,
my
see?
Neonte bag. You know what I mean? Like I was in that mode, and I was like, you know what? Like let's go fully drumless. Fully drumless. Like the whole album, fully drumless. Fuck it. Just
Awesome.
all loops and all samples.
On some Nicolas Craven
you know?
shit.
Yeah. Like some conductor shit. You know what I mean?
Conductor.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the long version of the answer is I kind of just make what I want, and I
love
just
that.
make what I feel like making.
I want you to continue doing that, right?
Yeah.
On this podcast, the people that know me, they know that I enjoy music. But when I say that, I mean I don't only like the mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
I like the underground rappers.
Yeah.
I like the new kids.
Yeah.
I like the shit people don't understand. But I also love Barry White.
Yeah.
I also love Don Hathaway.
Yeah.
I also love Akon, right? Like that's just how I approach music. I just approach music as a frequency.
Yeah.
So when I went to go listen to your project and I see Este Nack, did I say that correctly?
Esty.
I'm sorry. Este Nack. See, I've only known him because of his affiliation with Griselda.
Yeah.
And there are very few people that know SD-Nack.
Yeah.
I know it because I do weekly roundups on every Friday where I post the new music, hip hop, etc.
Yeah.
And I'm really the only one compared to the other platforms that posts his music.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, fam. Like, how did that even happen? That connection, did it start from?
Yes.
What you was telling us earlier?
Yeah. It started. Oh, I don't think I even finished that point. So thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
But it started off of Victory Light because somebody who watches the show, who knows Nack, caught a reference we made to him, sent it to him, then he posted it.
Oh wow.
And then Mero actually tapped in with him and was like, yo, actually my man's in the clip with me is mad nice. Y'all should link up. Y'all should get on a track together.
Fire.
And then Nack was on some Say No More, you know what I mean? So I sent him a clip of a track I was working on. I was like, yo, peace, God, like this me. You know what I mean? I work with Mero. Like, I think you would really fuck with this. I'm on, you know what I mean? I'm on my Dominican shit. I'm talking my shit. It's the Italian horns. I flipped the sample myself. So I'm like,
fire.
So I'm like, you know, like tap in. And yo, he was on some, he was like, bet, send me that with the open spaces and I got you. And
so he heard your verse first?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I sent mine done.
Oh man.
And I was like, yo, Nack, like, you know what I'm saying? What's up? Like, are you fucking with this? And he was like, yeah. You know, send him a calm
30 pack. Send a nigga 100 beats.
Nah. It was the one. Send him the one, but I sent him some bread. You know what I mean? Like,
fire.
You know what I mean? And by the way, if you want to work with Nack, man, bro, you got to make an offer.
Okay.
All right. You can't just be like, how much for? No, bro. How much do you?
Yes.
How much are you willing to put up?
Yes.
Like, how bad do you want the Nack verse?
Yes.
You know, and approach it that way. And listen, if he fucking with the track and the number is right,
Nack is nice.
That motherfucker's a professional, bro. His turnaround time is, bro. There's way less busy, way more fucking regional, local rappers who take longer to send a verse back than SD fucking Nack, bro.
Come on.
That motherfucker, the turnaround was like 3 days.
That's that BS substance. They not playing that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's that mini mansion shit, bro.
Yeah,
and that's that work ethic in Lynn, bro.
Right.
Because China Beijing, who's also on the album, she's also from Lynn. And no joke, like I sent her Toll Away, and yeah, the turnaround was like like a week or two, maybe.
That's crazy.
So I don't know what's going on in Lynn, but they hungry out there. Like they fucking they put that work in.
I want you to speak to some other. I don't want to put you on the spot, but just, if you could just think about 3 underground artists that you really like right now. Do you have 3 at the top of your mind?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, most of them are my peers, you know.
That's beautiful.
Like Wolf out of Queens.
Wolf is nice.
Wolfie Season, you know what I mean?
I'm familiar.
He fuck with like Rare Gems and like the Dead Bent guys and all them. Shout out Wolf. He's always outside, always at a show, always on a bill. Like, you know what I mean? Bro, stay busy. I fuck with June 8th. He just dropped out of North Carolina. Shout out to the 4, you know what I mean? Shout out to Charlotte.
Putting me on June 8th?
June 8th. Just June. It's June, all caps with like exclamation.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
By the way, this is real underground. Like I hate when motherfuckers be like, yo, what underground artist you listen to? And they got 2 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
Like, Playboy Cardi.
Nah, you know what? I ain't gonna lie.
Come on.
Right? There's another running joke on this podcast. I don't know shit. So this nigga talking some real underground for real.
Bro,
I know you ain't noticed the name yet.
Because wait, hold up. I'm like, hi.
You missed the mainstream.
You know how like when you in class and you don't know shit, but your professor is talking some shit, you just nod your head like, yeah, I remember that, but you have no idea. That's me right now. I'm like, oh yeah, I know June 8th.
Yeah.
But
and I wanted to ask him because I know he would actually give me underground artists.
Yeah.
And the last one, if you have one, Rainey.
Yeah. No, June is dope.
Yeah.
Who else did I say? June is dope. Crystal Stacy is dope. But like, you know, like I said, they're all my peers. Crystal Stacy, I've worked with a bunch. Honcho Brando, No Gum Hundo.
Come on.
Honcho Brando and Billy Buckets got an album called Too Hungry. That should stay in rotation. But those are my guys, man. It's mostly like Bronx artists, you know what I'm saying? Like I listen to a lot of Kush Jones. Kush Jones, like electronic producer, DJ extraordinaire. That motherfucker's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? El Blanco Niño, like, you know what I mean? Like, so everybody.
I'm sorry, Savon. Would you agree that a lot of the more mainstream artists that we're familiar with get their inspiration from these types of artists?
Listen, man.
Tell him.
Listen, man.
Tell him.
Okay, I'm going on record. I know.
Tell him.
I know that I'm probably delusional. I know this going into what I'm about to say.
That's okay.
However, listen, man. I think that if it weren't for the Seasons series of albums that I dropped, I feel like Metro and Future got Drink and Dance from me.
Get out of here.
What song in
Drink and
particular?
Dance.
That's Drink and Dance.
I feel like Metro and Future's Drink and Dance, that electronic sort of dark wave kind of bop, that sort of dark pop energy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like
I can't wait to put the song like side by side.
We gotta play that shit.
Yeah, I don't know, dog. Like
no,
because it's got a lot of similarity to Dark Summer, like to a couple tracks on Dark Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you play the title track Dark Summer, or if you play Like a Dragon,
it might be something there.
It's pretty similar, you know.
No,
but maybe they just tapped in on the dark wave scene, you know? Maybe it's not just me. Maybe Metro on his dark wave shit.Maybe Metro is listening to some Turkish dark wave as we speak. You know? Maybe he's tapped in with the end of electronics. I don't know.
We do have the capabilities to play the songs and the references that you're talking about. You saying Dark Summer? Is that the song you want me to play from you?
I think probably
make sure it's the right one,
Rainey. Give me a song.
Yeah. Hold on.
And if you don't want to do it, we don't have to do it right now. People can do their own research.
That's fine.
But since you mentioned it, I'm like, hey, why not?
No, for sure. I think probably, let me think.
It's all good. Look.
No. It's, you know what? Yeah. Probably Like a Dragon is probably the closest. Yeah. It's probably the closest, like, tempo wise. But like, this has very much like.
Okay.
You know the opening scene in Blade?
Yes.
You know the club scene? And then he turned the sprinkler on and there's blood everywhere? That's this. Okay. Like, this is Seasons, you know? Very much dark R&B vibes, you know?
Okay. Oh, I'm listening to that bit. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh. In which album from Metro and Future? The first one, We Don't Trust You? Is it We Don't Trust You?
Yo.
I think so.
Rainey, even if you're delusional, I do hear what you're saying. Because
you know what I'm saying? It's We Still Don't Trust You. It's called Drink and Dance.
Yeah.
So this is Rainey Like a Dragon, by the way. Folks, tapped in. YouTube, I'm sorry. You do not get this amazing music.
Sorry, buddy.
Please make sure y'all head over to Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to your music, and listen to this track. Like a Dragon. All right, so I'm going to cue up the Future and Metro
joint. All right.
Which song is that? You said We Still Don't Trust You, right?
It's on We Still Don't Trust You, but it's called Drink and Dance.
Yeah, Drink and Dance.
So it's not like, maybe it's not similar.
Oh, that's like the second song on the fucking.
Right.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's do it back to back in real time. I'm so sorry.
No, you good, bro.
This is the fun and the greatness of podcasting.
Yes.
Is we get to do this
in real time.
This is the shit that like lures me. It sucks me in.
Getting excited, buddy.
Nah, this shit sucks me in. No, I'm serious.
Start getting excited.
This is how I know I really like this shit.
Yeah, I mean,
when it starts sucking.
Bro, listen, that's how I got into podcasting, bro. It sucked me off. I mean, you know?
Yeah, I feel him.
So you gotta get sucked.
You got it.
You know?
Sometimes that's what it takes.
Oh, here we go.
So this is Future and Metro Boomin Drink and Dance.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can hear it. I'm gonna be honest too.
Yeah.
The bass line.
It's very vague and like.
No, I'm we have those ears, thankfully.
Yeah. But it's from that.
Oh.
Okay.
You hear it.
And then here we go.
You hear
Snare
it
going off.
You know?
Okay.
You hear it.
You do.
Oh,
Rainey.
Freaking again.
Yo. You know I'm a lawyer on the weekend.
Hey, them boys. Look, I'm not even mad. Them boys went crazy.
Yeah,
I can't even like.
But even if it wasn't from you that they pulled it from, I didn't want to acknowledge that it's what they do.
Yeah, bro,
fans don't think
influence.
that, though.
Yeah, that goth influence is there. Whether they got it from me or Boy Harsher or
absolutely
Lebanon, Hanover, anyone.
And it's the best excuse. I never heard of you.
right.
Like, why would you think that these big ass superstars do not take from
But
them?
regardless of whether you heard of them or not, it goes
Yeah.
back to your point about frequencies.
Right.
Yeah.
And creative ideas and just
Bouncing
things
around.
just bouncing around,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
there is a world
Yes.
where they have never heard that song, your song,
Right.
but it sounds so similar and it's so great
Mm-hmm.
that they felt like, you know what, we're gonna put this out. We're
Yeah.
gonna put this as the second song on our album.
Yeah.
Right? On our probably Grammy nominated, all the budgets, all of the things that go into it.
Yeah.
For you to be on that same frequency at the same time,
Mm.
like that just says a lot. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
He's the lawyer in HR.
Yes, yes.
So we
And
can
producer.
send him.
Yeah.
We can send him.
What you want to do?
I got him.
What you want to do?
Shout out to you,
Just on
man.
the weekends, though. Good look.
Nah, not
Just on the
even.
weekends,
Bro.
I got my 9 to 5 during the week.
Bro, listen.
All right.
Like honestly, no funny shit. There's people watching that have never seen me before,
Yeah.
don't know who I am,
I
right?
know, I know.
But I have oddly been tied to the forefront of a lot of random internet like trends. Like right now, even on TikTok, there's this discourse.
Oh, I love
There's
this.
always some fucking discourse, but this is the most meaningless, nerdy discourse ever around like who started the like urban like armor.
Oh, I love
trend.
this.
And people are, to my shock, because I didn't think anybody gave a fuck like that, but people are like tagging me in comment sections of like other creators being like, yo, like who started the shit with like black folks wearing armor? Like who, like I think it was this person. I think it was that person. Bro, comments in droves. Like, nah, it was Rainey Ovaya. Bro was doing this in 2021. Like
Really?
2022. And then they would go back, so they would go back to my old videos.
Yes.
Now, like I'm getting comments even now of like, oh, bro was ahead of his time type
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
So so I've just always been like oddly, like I'm at the front of shit when people are still getting made fun of for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah,
I
same.
take those licks, bro.
Yeah,
like,
same.
motherfuckers was in my comments like, yo, motherfuckers was in my comments like Charlemagne, like, nah, that ain't it.
That is. Damn, Charlotte.
You know what I mean? They was in my comments like, nah, the armor shit is corny, gang. I'm not gonna hold you.
Nah,
But-
sometimes you gotta claim what's yours. There's one I think that we actually birthed. Which one? The conversation when I brought up Jamie Foxx show and Martin.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was a thing.
Yes,
it was a thing.
I didn't see discourse on it before.
Yeah.
But sometimes we gotta be delusional in the beginning.
For
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
and then people start making connections.
Yes.
People hit the Leo meme. They go,
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
That's
I
the
got
one.
it.
that's
got
the
it.
one. Yeah,
I got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's funny because a lot of, and I don't want to put us in a box to say we're smaller creators, but maybe we don't have the platforms as some of the larger people in the space. There was a time where we did 2 segments in let's just say the big fish in the space, right? I can't remember what was it where Nick Cannon, the same exact week, we put out a segment.
Oh shit.
We did something on Curated Chaos. Curated Chaos is our like spin-off game show
oh,
kind of
fire.
situation.
Yes.
Super dope, super produced.
Thank you.
But there's been times where we've done drafts, right? Like a hip hop draft.
Yeah.
And then we'll see people who have a little bit more visibility.
do 90 more.
They steal too.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Niggas just be stealing.
Game is game, right?
The game is a game, but it's dope. And again, maybe it's just a frequency thing. Maybe it's not stealing. Maybe it's just, hey,
Yeah.
I was sitting on this idea.
Ideas jumping.
You were sitting on this idea and it came out. And we just happened to, live in the same bucket at that time.
Yeah.
At that time. I do want to go back to your album really, really quick because I'm always fascinated with titles. I'm a true believer. Again, I can't turn that shit off.
Yeah.
When I see it, when I hear it, when I feel it, it's something that just kind of resonates with me. And one of the things that they teach you in like first day of marketing school is you need a hook.
Yeah.
You need something, whatever that is, which is why I'm really drawn to how you start your podcast. But I think it's also important the things that we title and label certain things. So
Yeah.
when I see Cigarettes with Dead Men, it makes me want to click.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost like with Doechii, right? The title of her album was Alligator Bites Never Heal.
Never heal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very reminiscent
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I'm like, wait, I have to hear what the fuck is
Yeah,
this
what does that
about?
mean?
Yeah, what's
What
going
is
on?
going on?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when it comes to the
Yeah.
title of your album, Cigarettes with Dead Men, where does it come from? What the hell does it mean?
Okay.
Please give me some backstory because I listened to the album. I
You
listened
did.
to it, I'm like, all right, what is Cigs at?
Yeah, yeah,
What do you
yeah.
need for that? I need
So-
one of them shits.
You're
so
sick.
it was baked into the fabric of the album unless you are tapped in like that with like indie film, specifically like black indie film from like the 70s and like because that was when like blaxploitation was really popping off, or like Blackula and like Sister Street Fighter and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right. So like, but there was, on the flip side of that, there was like a sort of art house kind of black film space, and one of those films is called Ganja and Hess, which was which is a Bill Gunn film, starring I can't remember his name, but he was the lead, Dwayne Johnson. He was the lead in
The Rock.
The Rock?
No.
wait, hold up.
We niggas.
I saw
All we know
that.
is The Rock. That's bad.
He said Dwayne Johnson. I said,
We gotta expand our horizons.
No.
muscles.
Yeah.
No, let me.
He bald too.
He said Dwayne Johnson. Look at us.
But nah, that's cool. I'm following what you're putting down.
Hold on. Let me hold on.
take
Now
your time.
we gonna get to the
that
bottom.
credit.
We're
Yeah, no,
gonna get to
for
the bottom.
Absolutely.
Dwayne Jones.
Dwayne
God.
Johnson.
There we go. Dwayne Jones. Yeah, my fault. Not Dwayne Johnson. So there was a film by Bill Gunn starring Dwayne Jones, who was also the lead in George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. He was famously like a black lead in a time where like it was 68, bro. Like you didn't see a black leading man, and you know what I mean? Like not a whole lot. You know what I mean?
We was leading shit in the 60s.
Sidney Poitier and them.
No. We was leading marches.
Exactly.
We was leading some shit.
We was
just
leading
not
some
film.
So Bill Gunn, he made this really art housey sort of trippy movie called Ganja and Hess, which was later repackaged as Blood Couple, because they didn't feel like the name, or at least I forgot why it was renamed, but it has it's something to the effect of like how you were saying, like people had the opposite effect back in the day, where it's like if a name was too weird, like nobody would go and see the shit. That's why you have films like Terminator, RoboCop, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th,
Beverly Hills Cop,
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like Ganja and Hess,
What the fuck is going on?
You're not really sure what you
Gas
get.
and gas.
Yeah. Right? So,
I know that, man. Now you're talking my math.
damn. But yeah,
Come on now.
So he makes this film, and it's about this guy. It's about this couple that essentially become vampires.
Okay.
And Cigarettes with Dead Men. The cover is actually Dwayne Jones himself, or Hess, the character. He's sitting at a bar, but he's sitting at a table at a bar, and a server walks by him and obscures him, completely enveloping him in shadow, but you can still see the cigarette. And this was after he becomes a vampire. So it's interesting to see him sort of hold on to this habit.
Yeah.
Despite him already being dead or undead.
Wow.
And in the album, it's called Hess's intro, or CWMD, Cigarettes with Dead Men, like intro, right? Then towards the middle, it's Ganja's interlude, which is when it gets like softer, and it's Ganja sort of detailing her toxic relationship with her mother, her body dysmorphia and shit like that. And that's when I get into the sort of more vulnerable parts. And then by the time Hess's outro plays, and he says, "Yo, I want you to live forever." Like, and then she was like, "Yo, the way you talking, you would think I was gonna live forever." It's like, no, I really want you to live forever. That's how I felt about the art and the music. So like, I don't need it to go viral. I don't really need $1 million. I don't need it to do 1 million on Spotify. Like, I need it to exist. Even if it's like Ka, bro. Like Ka is on my Mount Rushmore of rappers, but like Ka said in his Red Bull Music Academy interview, he said, "I know what it's like to put out an album and nobody care. But I make music, and that used to make me sad. But now I make music for my one listener." So shout out to my one listener.
Yes.
And I go back to that clip whenever I feel like, what am I doing? Like this fucking, like maybe I'm trash, like,
Nah,
But-
you should have, hey, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I
Thank you.
told you about that shit earlier.
Thank you, dog. But that's how I felt, It was like, yo, I just, no matter what happens, I just want my art to live forever. And
Yes.
Cigarettes with Dead Men is kind of like,
Yes.
just sort of like my bogey after being turned. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Right.
like that kind. It doesn't. And maybe it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No,
it does.
It makes a ton of
Yes.
sense. Honestly, that's how I approach this podcast. Now, granted, I don't have an album, but as long as there's one person that listens, somebody who resonates with us, somebody who fucks with us, like that's what I'm doing it for. Like,
Man,
of
you
course,
just got there 2 years ago.
no. What you mean?
That nigga used to be mad, bro. He used to be mad. Y'all not gonna listen?
No, I mean, but like,
because that energy comes from. Of course, I'm doing
That's
something.
passion.
I want people to listen. That's the passion in me that says, "Hey, please, what I'm doing is great. What I'm doing is amazing. What I'm doing is different. I want people to listen." But I'm at the point now where it's like, you know what? If there's just one person, that's why I always shout out the silent listeners. Yeah, because I resonate with them. I'm talking to them, and of course, I'm always gonna speak to the vocal listeners. I do enjoy the interaction. Again, we spoke about the algorithm a little bit different. Y'all make a difference, okay? So please do not turn into a silent listener if you do engage with our content. But at the same time, it's like when I show up into this space, when we set these mics up and these cameras up, it's me and you. And when I say me and you, it's me and the audience, right? Like, I'm going to say some shit that everybody doesn't agree with. When our social media team puts out a clip and I'm like, I look kind of crazy right there.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that because I'm doing the podcast for you.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of what it is with the album. That's what I'm receiving from what it is that you said about your album.
Yeah. And like, also, I wanted to do... Conceptually, I wanted to do something I hadn't seen or heard before. Like, I hadn't seen any or heard any references to Ganja and Hess or Bill Gunn or that side of like black indie film.
Right.
I hadn't seen that done yet. So I was like, how can I approach this differently? I also like, there's not a whole lot of drumless, emotional sort of like rap because like Toll Away and Promise You Won't Call, those two tracks in particular are very emotional and just me kind of like admitting that I'm down bad and like Promise You Won't Call especially is like, yo, like I'm so down I mean, we've all had that shorty that's like, yo, it's over with, she broke your heart, I'm done with you, but if she call you, you're answering.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, if she calls you, you're answering.
Nah, not no more. I don't fall for that.
Nah, I fall for it every time.
I don't fall for that no more.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
stay over there.
Call me.
No, stay over there.
Put the camera on. Yo, hey, I see the nigga. Call me. If that's you, call me, baby.
You see what I'm saying? So
stay over there.
With my, you know, but these two conflicting ideas.
My man, yin and yang.
Yeah, you know what I mean? These two conflicting ideas are that's like the central theme of that track in particular, of Promise You Won't Call. It's like, yo, if you call me, I'm a answer and I'm gonna go to you because I'm yours. So don't call me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I blocked my ex.
Yo,
wait, hold on, because I don't even need you to call me.
I feel that.
You can call, but it's going straight to voicemail.
I hear you on that.
Time out.
Damn, you do not need access to me.
Yeah. So I'm with you. And again, I love the way that you title, you know, your creative, just everything, because it makes sense from the album title to the song titles. It makes me want to click. Like, it's almost like reverse engineering when it comes to marketing.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're going to put something so abstract, so obscure, where it's like, I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, thank you, man.
What is this about? Like, don't call, like, of course I'm going to listen to the song that tells you not to call me. Why the fuck don't I want you to call me? Like, what did you do to me?
That was, everything I do is layered in that way. Like with the SD Knack track, it's called Rumble in the Bronx, but it's not Rumble in, it's Rumble Lynn, as in Lynn, Massachusetts. So
wow.
So that it's like a play on words, like Rumble in the Bronx, like the Jackie Chan film.
And to your point,
we're both into that.
Jackie! My fault. Oh my God. He said Jackie Chan. The cartoon.
It was the cartoon. You remember Jackie Chan Adventures?
I remember it very well.
Yo, he would hit the
He used to go hard. He used to go hard.
Yo,
he used to go hard. But
my bro, Uncle.
I ain't gonna lie, they gotta put a little bit more racism in the cartoons.
Yo,
that's them days are over.
Yeah, let me not get canceled.
Listen,
they gotta put a little bit more stereotypes. Like when I saw Hey Arnold. And they had the black nigga with the hot top fade. Put some more hot top fades on these niggas.
Gerald's high top was crazy because it looked like an open can. Because they had the
like a high
They
ass
had
bee
like the
nest.
flap. They had the flap. I don't know
Yeah.
what the flap was.
Yeah.
But they had the high. It was like chicken of the sea stacked on top of itself, and
was
then the
tall.
top one is open like this. It was crazy, bro.
Look, he had a towel on his
We
head.
We need
a
more of
little
that,
bit
bro.
Yeah,
We
bring that
need
back.
we need Phil Lamar doing. We need Phil Lamar doing a questionable Japanese accent as Samurai Jack again.
Oh,
Amen.
That's what we need.
I'm
go
with
find
it.
him. Go find him.
We gotta cast
Yeah.
the niggas that ain't niggas to play niggas.
Chocolate Thunder.
You know what I'm saying?
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The niggas that play
Robert
niggas
Downey and them.
Oh, all right. Wait.
Yeah.
Right? Nah, because we hear that, right? That's what y'all niggas want.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Apu. Apu.
Apu from Simpsons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my man.
That was a white nigga playing the Indian nigga, but the
Yeah.
Indian nigga was getting it off as the
You know
white
what I mean?
nigga. I'm like, what the fuck?
Nah,
You know
that's
what
true.
I'm saying?
R.I.P. John Redcorn, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Shit's
Fuck.
crazy.
Yeah.
Damn, that nigga died.
But I'm sorry, you were
No, you're fine.
R.I.P.
And I do want to get to film and TV after this next thing, but we're having such a great conversation. But I wanted to ask this about the music. Not even ask, but to add to it, because when you said I'm making music now, even if it's for the one listener, what it took me a very long time to realize, just in terms of, I've always been a confident person. If you know that about me, I'm always smiling, I'm always laughing. But I'll be honest, internally, years back, I would feel confident, but I come from an African household. So
yeah.
I'm not a doctor, I'm not a, you know,
Yo,
I'm not any of
fuck.
those things, you know. What's the problem with you? My mommy, she just want me to go to school. That's it, you know? So coming from that type of a household, right? You're not the LEDs, the lawyer, engineer, the doctors. Even though I've always been a hustler, a hard worker.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, fam, am I doing this entertainment stuff for waste? Does it make sense? But I realized that life is all about experiences. And it doesn't matter if they don't pan out to what we thought they would go to. At the end of the day, it was a chapter in my life.
Yeah.
Right? Like on chapter 3, I did this.
Yeah.
On chapter 4, I did that. So
Yeah.
I love all of that. Now, back to TV and shows and all that cool stuff.
I'm sorry, real quick.
Yes.
Real quick.
What's the problem?
Having
I know that's what you want to. I know that's what
because
you. What's your
because going to my African friends like
good.
cribs and shit, they would have like the best grades, like
You-
whatever. But like let them show up with like a bubble coat,
Oh my-
like that, like
Nigga.
or an earring.
a do-rag,
Or
a earring.
do-rag,
I pulled up with both.
Waves, bro.
I pulled up with all three.
Anything, yo, Pop's Abubakar got lit up, bro, in front of all of us. His pop said, so you think you're a gangster?
So you think you're a gangster? Okay.
Yeah.
So you think you're 50 cents? Okay.
Yeah.
You just wait there.
Yeah.
I will give you 50 cents.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that shit is rough,
It's very
man.
real, bro.
That is, and now here I am growing up loving 50 Cent.
Yeah, yo, we playing Kingdom Hearts 2, bro. Abubakar getting fried by his pops, bro.
You just be playing the game.
Yeah.
Play the game. You don't have anything else to do. Your
Yo.
mate are reading book.
Yo. And he had the best grades.
Of
all
course
us.
we did.
So I'm like,
By
yo,
default, I
yeah.
kept the 86 average.
Yeah.
That never worked.
Yo.
I kept one by default.
Yeah.
You see why I had to adopt the uptown culture? Because that's too much pressure. Them Nigerian niggas, y'all be applying way too much pressure.
hell,
Dominican, we get a little, you know what I'm saying? Sancocho, like that's
Yeah,
it, bro.
Yeah.
We, you hear me?
Oh, wait, hold up.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm saying, bro.
That's it. Yeah, nah, bro, can you talk about a 96 average? Hold up, I gotta pick and choose. Do I want to be Rainey? Do I want to be Alex?
Oh, yeah, right.
I cannot do it, my
It's
friend, my
not, the
brother.
thing is just not easy.
My brother,
Yeah.
it's no
It's
good.
not-
It's not easy.
It's no good for my brain, man.
At all.
Holy
I
shit.
can't do it.
I gotta go to Wakanda.
What's that dirty mouth? What's wrong with you?
Yo, bro.
But not being raised in these environments can really change your
They can.
trajectory.
They can.
And I feel so blessed that my mom was always, even though she would, read your book, she would just allow for me to do some of the things I wanted to do.
Yeah.
That really helped me.
Shout out to our moms, man. for real.
Shout out to our moms, bro.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
could have fucking been
People
scientists.
talk about fathers in the home. Nah, bro. Mothers in the home,
Yo,
bro.
retweet.
Mothers in the home, bro.
Because that nigga wasn't there.
Not because, not.
right,
yo,
come
I
on.
mean,
Alright,
he
come on,
wasn't.
son.
He wasn't.
Come on, son.
That's okay.
Your pops
Nah,
wasn't
not
as
really,
Because
not
that's,
really.
that's one of the
Yeah.
things that we talk about with Alex. Alex is really dope because he makes it a lighthearted thing. Now, me, I've been blessed. Me and my dad were like best friends. My dad's younger. He started fucking at like 11, so he had me at 15,
Oh my
16.
God.
So my dad is really young. My dad's not even 50 years
Damn.
old. I'm
Big bro.
31.
Bro,
do the math.
Bro, graduated with his dad.
Yes.
That's crazy.
No,
Like-
with his mom.
Yeah.
Literally.
No exaggeration.
Yo,
He literally
holy
did.
shit.
I walked down
Yes.
graduation fucking aisle with my parents.
No
Like,
bullshit.
That's
legit.
awesome.
So
No bullshit. Yeah.
I've been blessed, but I do want to recognize the people who haven't had the same experience with their fathers in particular.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Alex makes it a very safe space on this podcast
Yes.
Yeah.
to talk about that,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And so I'm always fascinated by it. And it comes from a place of privilege and just blessings, right?
Yeah.
To be able to have a father. And then also my mom, she got married really young to my stepfather, who I call my second dad. So
Yes.
I've always had men in my life that I could respect, appreciate, and who help make me be the man that I am. But
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated by men who overcome not having that type of presence in their life, which is Alex.
Yeah.
He's an example of that.
Yeah.
No, legit.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
right?
I'm
Like,
that for him.
when we first started this
Yeah,
podcast,
true.
and Alex, you tell me if I'm
Shoot.
right or wrong.
Shoot.
Right? I was so interested in his lack of relationship that he had with his father.
Yeah, clean
Where-
it up. No nigga at home. It's all right.
Yo, come
It's
on,
okay.
Alex.
That's my man. He trying to clean it up.
Nah,
too.
he-
That's
he-
my
yeah.
man.
No
I
nigga
love
at
him.
home.
Yeah,
That's my
man.
man. Nigga ain't home.
Yo,
Yeah.
bless Savon, bro.
It's a sensitive subject.
Savon's such a
my
cold.
man.
He's such a kind soul,
That's
bro.
my try, man.
Here come Alex.
But
Yeah.
the nigga left him.
That was
Yeah.
talking,
So,
nigga. Yeah.
When the
Let's get
nigga
to
left,
it.
I
Yeah.
asked him, "Hey man,
Oh,
how do you
man.
live life like this?" I was curious.
did. He asked
And
me.
it was a theme
And I was like,
subconsciously.
Savon.
almost every other episode.
I was like, Savon, I have other father figures.
Yeah, right. Like,
I got an uncle.
Yeah.
I got a friend. Like, was it the same with you? Did you have other figures in your life?
Yeah, but it was mostly women, and honestly,
wow.
like, yo, low key, like, not having like, cause meeting my father again as an adult was really eye opening for me because I kind of had the realization, like, yo, thank God you weren't around.
Yo, what? Savon,
He told
what
me
did
the
I
same.
say?
I didn't believe him.
Ready? I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah,
Go
thank
ahead.
God you weren't around because if I grew up
Fam.
listening to your insane outlook on life, I don't think I'd be the man I am. And also, like, that opened the door for me to think about, like, hang on, maybe the reason I do so well, you know, not to brag or whatever, but maybe the reason I do so well with the ladies is because I grew up surrounded by ladies
Same.
who told me,
What to do
hey,
and how to move.
this is what women like. Why the fuck would if I wanted advice on crocheting,
Turn up, Rainey.
why would I go to a carpenter?
Hey, man.
Turn up, Rainey.
If I want advice on dating women, why would I go to a man who is also trying to figure it out and probably
Himself.
doing it poorly?
Never looked at
right?
it like
Terribly.
Like, I'm gonna go to my mom, my sister, my auntie, my female friends. Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so I put that together where it was like, oh, you ain't never had, your father wasn't around to put you on game. No, my mom was around to put me on game.
Like, thankfully.
The fuck, yeah. I'm not listening to, I'm
Yeah.
not listening to a man who only got pussy twice,
Yeah.
which is me and my older sister. I'm not listening to that guy.
I like Rainey.
I'm not listening to that guy.
I fuck with this guy.
Hey, man.
Nah, it's true. Hey,
Fucking-
Rainey, by the age of 12, I already knew my pops was a gallus. That nigga was a fuckboy. Yo, by the time I reached the age of 11 and 12, I had already made it okay in my head to know, yo, my father would have really done my mom filthy.
Crazy.
Right? But a kid probably shouldn't have to think about it, but I feel so blessed that I did think that way. Because to your point about the absence of him not being there, you start to realize, well, damn.
Yeah.
If you were around, that
Yeah.
probably would have affected me in a really negative way.
Yeah, it probably would have fucked me up. It's like,
Yeah.
and like I had uncles and like, yo,
Them niggas is just drunk.
One
Yeah,
thing-
My fault.
one thing about,
My fault.
That's your trauma.
one thing,
He
yo,
said, wait, hold up. Them niggas is
Yeah.
just drunk.
Yo, nah, hold
Randy
on.
was about to tell about his uncle who's a scholar.
bro, nah. Alex was sitting on the cooler like Sharif in Menace to Society at 12 years old talking about, y'all can't be ingesting this poison, my
Yeah,
unks.
that was me.
Y'all can't be ingesting this poison,
That was me.
putting this poison in your body,
No
my uncle.
bullshit.
You gotta get right with your mental mind,
with
my
your
uncle.
mind.
You know what I mean?
Yes, bro.
You gotta do the knowledge.
Do the knowledge.
But yo,
Like, nigga,
but yo,
Alex been doing the knowledge.
come on.
but yeah, like one thing specific to the male experience growing up as a young boy is how quickly you are sexualized by the men in your life.
Yo.
Where they go, yo, you getting pussy yet? Hey, Theo, no. Because I'm 9.
Yeah.
So,
my shit not.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'll tell you what I am doing. I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
on Game Boy Color.
You know, bumping my shins on my Razor scooter.
You know,
I'm
regular
not,
shit.
Not getting pussy. No.
Fucking not.
The fuck? What kind of question is that? And that's regular for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's regular for us, and that's some shit nobody brings up ever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hear that shit talked about enough.
And not for nothing, I think you spoke to it just a little bit. When it does come to women, I am the person now that can really understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the guy now, if I have to tell one of my friends, like, yo, I think us as men, a lot of the time, we just look at it from our POV.
It's, yeah. And it's easy to do that.
It's easy to do
It's easy to do that if you're it's the same way that I unlearned, like, a lot of misogyny and, like, you know, trans misogynoir and stuff. It was just about being, like, if all you know about trans people and all you know about women and all you know about marginalized people is what non-marginalized people tell you about them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you really trust that opinion? Can you really trust that point of view? Nah, I got around queer people. I got around trans women. And I'm like, yo, the girls are fire. The girls are fire.
You see some heat?
And the girls are lit. Like, they're all mad fun to be around. They're all such warm, lovely people.
Right.
So that's why I just don't buy into these narratives. You gotta be around.
You're comfortable with yourself.
Yeah, that's another thing.
And also,
too.
like, life experience. Like, one of the things for me that I've noticed in my life is I've been blessed to be able to understand and adapt in pretty much any culture, right? My upbringing was, I grew up in the church, Christian Baptist. My grandfather's a reverend. My mom, she's a singer, stepdad, minister of music. My family was, like, ingrained in church, right?
Bro had the sinner's package.
Yeah,
crazy.
The full joint. The full package.
Put on this earth to sin. But I'm gonna ask God for forgiveness. Because I know I come from a good place.
Preacher boy.
Hold up, nigga. I come from an amazing place.
You know how the preacher's
but
kids be.
the way that my life was set up, it's not my fault you was fucking at 17.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, so I had that experience of being in the church, being around prominent, you know, strong black people, black culture in that way, basketball camps, summer camps. Like, I grew up in that space. Like, I know where I come from. My family, you know, they put me in environments that said, yo, you are a black man, right?
Right.
But then through life, I went to elementary school in Flushing, Queens. Flushing, Queens has a high population of Asians.
Yes.
And specifically Korean. So I grew up around Asian, Korean culture. And so I was able to tap in there and learn there. So right after Korean kind of influence in a way, because my favorite, this is crazy. My favorite snack growing up was taking ramen noodles, raw, dry, taking it straight.
Yeah.
No, nothing on, no lube.
No Vaseline.
No Vaseline. I would take the ramen noodles, crush it up, throw the seasoning in it, and eat it like chips.
Yeah.
Savon, what did you mean by
It's a
that?
valid snack.
What did you mean by that?
No, that's what that was my snack. Like, that was my go-to snack of getting the ramen pack, the 48 pack.
Yeah.
Asking my mom, hey, I need the shrimp.
And you would take the whole, and you would take the whole 48?
I would take the whole 48 shrimp and beef. And then crush it up. No.
Wait, Alex.
Nigga, the shit.
Yo, Rainey, that nigga been through everything.
It come with chicken too, nigga.
Oh,
What the fuck?
That nigga been through the ringer.
Bro, it came with
you heard
shrimp.
it?
No, hold on. He said the full 48 shrimp and beef.
That's the
It's crazy,
flavor,
bro.
That's the flavor of the ramen.
Hey, all sizes.
Oh, it's the
Bro,
flavor of the
bro, that was the-
ramen.
Me and Rainey was thinking about some other shit.
It's the flavor of the ramen.
what you was thinking?
My fault.
Size.
Where your brain went?
Size.
Yo, I'm not gonna hold you. It sounded crazy, gang.
It sounded like you talking
Yeah,
about size.
Sorry, bro.
It sounded like shrimp scampi.
Bro, go to Costco's. They give you the variety pack of the ramen.
Okay.
The
Yes.
shrimp, beef, chicken.
Okay.
You can get all that.
Yeah, but
Okay.
break it down like that next time.
But that's what I had. So
Okay.
I'll ask my
Yeah.
mom, hey, mom, please
is
get the
wrong
ramen pack. She didn't know why. She just thought I was like making noodles. And I was never making noodles.
Nope.
But the
Just
influence
crush
from
them
my
up.
homies from school at the time, I was in a
Wow.
Korean. That's what they did. That's how they ate the ramen noodles. They would crush it up, put the seasoning in, shake it, and then eat the shrimp and beef.
Yeah.
Did they always do it around you?
Yeah, it was a cultural thing. So
They got him.
That was my that's how I would literally eat ramen. So
Savon is so pure, man.
He's so innocent.
Savon is so
He
pure.
don't even know that they went home and didn't do that.
Oh man.
Hey,
no,
man,
no. Listen. No, Savon, you're so
I
like,
love this nigga.
bro. But yeah, no. But being tapped in that way is like.
the ramen.
Oh
See,
shit!
look, it's right here.
Savon.
You gotta bust it up.
Savon.
Me bust out the boom boom with the chicken and the
Oh
shrimp.
my God.
Savon, you did not just pull out ramen.
No, you didn't see it fly in.
Oh
Yo,
shit!
it hit me.
So we just keeping ramen in here.
Hey man.
You didn't see it fly in.
Yeah, shout out
I'm
to Needs
scared.
Those Studios. You never know what
You
you're
never
gonna
know
get.
what's gonna fly
We're gonna
in.
pull up with the ramen.
That was
God,
crazy.
shit.
So, like, you would literally crush it up like this. Take this, open it up like a bag of chips, put the seasoning and eat it. So I say all of that to say, I've been blessed to be around so many different cultures to understand. So I grew up, I know my black, obviously, and fucking black, and can't escape that. That's what I am.
Yeah.
But then I grew up Korean, Asian culture. Then I go to college. I'm exposed to a lot of white kind of culture.
Anglo-Saxon.
Alex and I, we met in college.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yes.
We went to one of the whitest colleges you could ever think of.
Long Island University,
Oh
PWI.
shit. Oh god.
LIU, and not the one in Brooklyn.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
It was
Yo,
white.
Rainey, you good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm
yeah,
okay. I'm okay.
Super white.
Holy shit.
But the town that I grew up in was predominantly Latin
Oh.
in Brentwood, Long Island,
Yes.
which a lot of Salvadorians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Colombian, all of it, right?
Crip.
So Bloods,
Yeah.
Latin King,
Can't
MS-13.
forget LK and
You know,
MS.
I ain't gonna lie,
man.
ICE pulled up and I was like, wait, hold up.
They run,
Oh, shit.
Nah, they running down on shit right now.
Damn.
It's bad.
Some
Continue.
of the homies, but anyway.
Home Depot. All right, keep going.
legit, but it's legit where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like that's what I grew up in. So I was exposed to so many different cultures, languages, just personalities. So I understand exactly what it is that you guys are talking about, right? Like that exposure builds a certain type of character
sure.
and armor to where you feel comfortable in who you are.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is
Yeah.
I can't make this up. Like
Yeah, and like it's like with Abubakar's pops, bro. Like you can't speak to that unless you was really in his crib watching his pops fry him up for wearing a North Face that he knows he didn't get, but that he doesn't know that he traded for Obelisk the Tormentor at school. That he traded that shit for a Yu-Gi-Oh card. You know, like he just he sees the jacket and he goes. So the clothes I get for you is not good enough, eh?
So oh God, the clothes I will buy for you, you say it's not good, eh? You just wait.
You just wit.
Oh God, I'm getting flashbacks.
You
Come on.
you know what I'm saying? Bro? You can't there's no way to speak to that without being in that room.
Yeah.
You know, the same way, like, that's not something like, I mean, I guess like now you could probably Google some shit like, oh, like, here's my top 3 Korean snacks.
no, we didn't
Like,
have,
you know
I
what I'm
didn't
saying?
have
Like,
that.
there was none of
I didn't
that,
have that.
back then, you know? There was no TikTok influencer being like,
You had that.
today I read on a bench for 8 hours and then I edited this video. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's my job. Like, yeah, like
I
there
was-
wasn't any of that.
I was in the Korean trenches eating. They had like this gelatin snack. Like I wish I could explain it, but it was true to the culture, right? Like you said, like I can't research that. You have to actually be in that and live
Ingrained in
that
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
really understand what that is.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, Rainey, before we get out of here, we do have some time, so don't go running. Just
Hold up, we
Okay.
ain't going nowhere.
I know. I was just, Anyway, we've spoken a lot about TV and film today, and I think you know a little bit about the MCU, DC universes, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
for
cool.
sure.
I need your help on this because over the years I am learning. Like you don't want to hear what I thought this shit was.
Oh boy.
I thought Endgame was really done.
You thought it was over with.
Yo, he came in here and said some shit like,
I thought it was over.
"Yo, they really killed everybody, bro."
Rainey, I was mad as hell.
I guess we don't. It was so funny watching non-comic book readers engage with that, and I'm like, you know that meme of James Franco at the gallows, and he's like, first time.
Yeah,
You know?
that's exactly how I
That's how
felt.
I felt,
I
yeah.
was like, "Oh shit, okay, y'all might bring him back." Anyway, I think that it was a mistake on Marvel's part to set it up like that solely for the casual fans and watchers, who is the bulk of their viewership when they do show up in the movie theaters.
Yeah.
Solely because if it did feel like the end to someone like me. Now, the Superman movie
Yeah.
is slated to release.
Yeah.
That's correct, right?
Mhm.
See, I know my shit, y'all. And that is under DC.
Mhm.
I want to ask you if you feel like DC is going to have a run that Marvel had.
100%. Yeah, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because
You believe that?
I think so too.
So
I wanna hear it.
here's why. It's because the Snyderverse didn't work.
Right.
It just didn't work because a lot of it felt like they were trying to play catch up with Marvel and the MCU as
Yeah.
opposed to them focusing on crafting a vision of something substantial.
Like MCU did.
Like the the
Right.
MCU for all of its like flaws or whatever, like that shit established a powerhouse in popcorn flicks.
Yes.
And like I love TV and film as much as the next person. Like I'm tapped in, bro. Like you want to watch 1920s German expressionist cinema, I'm with you.
Oh wow.
But at the same time, like it can't all be Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. It can't all be Haxan. It can't all be these deep ass cuts, silent ass movies. Like, you know what I mean? Like there needs to be room for both. I believe that there's a place for everything. And the MCU has its place, just like that avant-garde sort of, you know, purist film, whatever, has its place in the culture as well. So I say all that to say, for all of its flaws and everything, the MCU still established something insane where it's like, they were the first instance of that working, bro. Like that, like from Iron Man 1 to Avengers 1, like that whole run proved to Hollywood and proved to the industry that like you can invest in something long term, and if it's good, people will keep showing up.
Exactly.
See, I'm so glad that you're here, because I am the comic book correspondent on the podcast.
Yeah, that's him.
Like this is what I do, so I love hearing your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
And even with Alex, like Alex, and to his credit, he asks questions.
Yeah.
I do.
He'd be like, "Hey, man, what's going on here?"
Yeah.
And I'm so delighted to just give him whatever information he asks, because I understand what it is that you're saying. So I worked at HBO Warner Media for a few years. And so I worked on a ton of films. Like I had the honor of working on The Penguin.
Oh,
series,
sick.
And that was
Hell
good.
yeah.
The Penguin was
It was
done
amazing.
well.
It was amazing, and
Yes.
it's connected to the Batman,
The Matt Reeves
the Matt
universe,
Reeves version, right? So
Yeah.
all of these different quote unquote universes and multiverses, like you got to keep up. It's one of those things where it's just kind of embedded in you.
Yeah.
You don't look for it if
Yeah.
you're really into it. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh wait, I know that Ben Affleck's Batman is not in the same space as Christian
Yeah,
Bale, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
You
yeah.
just kind of is one of those. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
But to your point, when it comes to like Iron Man 1, I think the reason that made the MCU so dope is because it was almost by accident,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Iron Man was not a cool character.
Nah, not at all. Nobody gave a fuck, bro.
Nobody.
Wait.
I was
Nobody
That
drawing.
was new marketing?
Have you ever had a coloring book when you was younger? You had
Yeah.
you
I
had
stayed within the
for
lines.
sure.
you stood in the lines.
Yeah,
right.
stay within the lines.
I would draw, and I would purposely draw outside of the lines when it came to Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because fuck that nigga.
Bro, yeah.
Because he
Iron
was
Man-
so irrelevant. I didn't care how that shit looked. I
Yeah.
wanted
Really?
Spider-Man. I wanted Wolverine. I wanted the Hulk on occasion, right?
Yeah.
But I was in Marvel-verse, for me at least, outside of pretty much Spider-Man, Wolverine, who else? Hulk for sure. And just the X-Men in general, because they weren't called, like, I didn't care about the quote-unquote mutants. It's just, these are the X-Men.
Yeah.
Or X-Men. That's what I don't
I never
did you
cared about
call
that mutant
Wolverine
shit.
X-Men when you were younger?
No, never.
It was
He was
always
always
Wolverine.
Wolverine, yeah.
See, like, I was of that mindset. So this whole phenomenon with the MCU and the DCU, whatever it is, like, it's dope because they kind of stumbled into this.
Yeah.
This wasn't planned marketing. They had no choice but to invest in the Iron Man, and then they go get, no offense, shout out to Robert Downey Jr., but they go and get the actor who's struggling in his personal life.
Yeah, with the
At
drugs
the
and
time,
jail and
they went and got the super talented guy, and they made a bet on the MCU.
They took a chance
The
on Iron Man.
MCU was not orchestrated.
Well,
They fell into this becoming what it is. And honestly, real quick,
No, you good.
the first Iron Man released in 2006, 2007. That whole franchise carried through my adulthood. Nobody in that office can tell me that this was planned.
Yeah,
See
man. And also, well, there was an outline. There was like a loose outline of like, yo, let's do this. If this works, here's the next 5 steps type shit.
See,
But it did take Iron Man because all the other the profitable characters were all under contract
Sony.
or under they were under a different umbrella. So they
Gotcha.
weren't like Spider-Man was with Sony, Hulk was with Universal, Blade was still with I forget who, like Miramax or something like that.
some weird.
So
Yeah.
or like Lionsgate, some shit like that.
Yeah.
So like all the cool sort of characters were either already been done or
Can't
the
be
rights were
touched.
held by So they were like, all right, well, no one's done Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like Savon was saying, it was like, well, who gives if we make it cool, people
Then it's-
will give
then
a
it can be
fuck.
lit.
Yeah.
Iron Man, Thor, all of those characters that was in like the original Avengers.
You said that they took a bet, right? They took a bet out, right?
Yeah,
They took a chance.
They,
They
took a chance, right?
They
Yeah,
bet
yeah.
on themselves.
Nigga, I do parlays. If I'm DC, I'm running the same ticket.
Right.
And
so,
I think Superman has the opportunity to be what Iron Man was for the MCU.
Yeah, here's and I think so you being being comic book savvy is looking to me based on all the material. It's looking to me like it's probably gonna be closer to like All-Star Superman. Like that series.
Yeah.
They're probably not gonna go the whole hey, I'm dying route. They're not gonna do that.
Nah, we need to keep him.
Which is
Yeah.
why they got rid of
Keep him.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, but I think that making him a little younger, making his features a little softer, make him more marketable, which is crazy. Like
Small
that's
things.
another thing. That's another thing, bro. Like Superman is the most infinitely marketable character in like media history, probably.
Yeah.
There is no like
Yeah,
he's
true.
called the Big Blue Boy Scout for a reason because he can appeal to anyone. So the DCEU before now dropping the ball so hard on a character like Superman by making him this like stoic god king, which like does not speak to his character at all.
At all.
Like that was my main issue with the DCEU was that you're gonna center it around these two characters, one of whom is supposed to be scary and intimidating and unapproachable, which is Batman.
Right.
But then the other of whom is supposed to embody the opposite side of that coin, which was super approachable and for everyone. And I think that that's why the James Gunn film is so colorful and so bright.
Wow.
And that's why I got characters like Guy Gardner and shit.
Yeah.
And Guy Gardner to the Iron Man thing, you think, no, bro, I cannot name one person whose favorite Green Lantern is Guy Gardner. Like nobody
Damn.
gives a fuck about
No.
but
See, y'all
I feel like James Gunn treated Guy Gardner the way he needed to be treated with the haircut and casting Nathan Fillion and like making him do the constructs with the fuck
Yup.
you. Like
Yeah.
that's Guy Gardner, bro.
Yeah.
Throwing Crypto in the mix, the super dog.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. This is
like
what
that.
this is what the fuck
We
I'm
want.
talking about. Metamorpho is in that shit.
Come on.
Like now we're getting somewhere. And I think that second, this is the last point I'm gonna make. I think that second Suicide Squad movie did a lot of heavy lifting. I think that they took a chance on that second one and were like, you know what? We're gonna make this giant starfish the villain of the movie. Because if it doesn't work, hey,
Fuck it.
but if people think it's cool, then shit, we're gonna have the fucking polka dot man.
Literally, that's what they did.
That's
So
what we
yeah,
got.
that's
We're gonna
literally
have
what they did.
Starro be the villain, and
Literally
we're
what
gonna
they
have
did.
fucking polka dot man have a mental breakdown
Wow.
and
Yeah.
fuck and just destroy everything.
I'm excited.
And I was like, and that for me was the first instance of like, oh, DC might be moving. They might be moving in the right direction for real.
I want them to be a real East versus West type thing. I'm
hope
talking,
so.
about, I'm talking about NBA right now,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
would like to see
I
with
hope
the
so.
both of them.
Yeah.
MCU just been killing for too long. Come on, DC.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I have a lot of faith in that Superman movie.
Okay.
there's a little bit of insider trading that I'm not gonna.
Oh,
even though I'm not
fuck.
there, I'm not gonna tell you
Shit.
anything.
Damn,
But
man.
Close your ears, y'all.
what I will say is there is something to be hopeful for, for sure. But I think it's just like anything. It's like when you're dealing with relationships, when you're dealing with people, just take your time.
Yeah.
And that is the advice that I will offer to the DC folks. Just take your time. You don't gotta rush. Like Leon Thomas told you.
Yeah.
Okay? We ain't gotta rush.
Yeah.
You gotta
Baby,
do
just
that.
take your time.
Take
You
your
know what I'm
time.
saying? So I think they don't gotta dive into every single thing. Like, see what works and go from there. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Yeah, no, exactly. And like honestly, sometimes you just gotta take a chance. I'm happy to see that Superman is going in the direction that he's going. Infinitely marketable character. Don't know why that was what doomed them from the start.
Wow.
Was making Superman this like low-key kind of scary, like unapproachable God King.
Yeah, like this ain't Batman.
Yeah, right. It's like
Right,
they made him too cold.
Got you.
And to the point now where people are reacting to the trailers like, yo, why Superman's so goofy? Oh no, he's doing Marvel jokes. Bro, it's Superman. Superman's always been a goofball.
Yes.
That's what make like
When he used to
read
work in
a
a-
comic book.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, bro.
I'm
like
sorry, Rainey. But
God
I knew
damn.
he used to make jokes with Lois Lane in the office.
Yeah, like you know what I'm
Alright,
saying?
I knew. Come on.
It's
all right.
not enough.
Real quick, watch this.
Yeah.
Alex,
Yeah.
trivia on the
shit.
fly.
Oh boy.
Okay.
What is Superman's alias?
I know this, but stay right
You
there.
said
y'all.
Lois Lane.
I see. I know
so
Lois.
is Lois Lane and who?
I see. It's only because I'm getting put on the
okay.
spot.
It's okay. It's all right. We ain't got to do
No,
that.
I know it. I'm disappointed in myself.
It started with a C.
Christopher.
No,
God
damn. No, bro.
I love my people there.
famous
No,
DJ.
I got
famous
you.
DJ.
I got you. Wu-Tang love this shoe.
Oh, my man.
And he was a DJ.
I know. Hold on, but I want to say it correctly. Motherfucking. I'm
It's
having,
all good.
I'm
It's
having
all
a break. No, say
It's
it
all
for
good.
me.
We'll get
Clark.
back.
Clark. I was thinking about Clark Kent.
Yes, that's
his
him.
name.
That's his name.
Oh,
That's
shit.
Superman's
That's Superman.
name.
How I know Clark Kent and not know Superman? Oh,
That's
shit.
his name. DJ. Yeah.
R.I.P. to God.
R.I.P. to God, DJ Clark Kent.
yeah.
Real quick, I do want to stay on music before we kind of talk about some of the other things. I know you've been here for a really long
Yeah.
time. We
Fuck
appreciate
it,
your
man.
time.
I'm vibing. I'm chilling.
We appreciate your time for sure. But I want to talk about the single that is dropping.
Oh yeah.
Because,
Yep.
like Alex said, you are on. This is fucked up to say, but fuck it.
Right.
You're on a spectrum.
A what?
No, the music.
Not because I know some niggas on the
No.
spectrum. They just don't know.
Yeah. Right.
The,
right.
the
I might
musical.
be.
No, we
Oh.
all are if we're
Oh,
creative.
I'm
I
saying.
ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm
But
with you.
no,
I'm with you.
you're on the musical spectrum where you can make great music at high levels in different genres.
Mhm.
And I appreciate that. Different vulnerabilities, different vibes that you provide.
Thank you, man.
So the song that you sent to us, thank you, by
Thank
the way.
you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. You sent
I
the
wish-
untitled link.
I wish you had sent me that while I was in DR.
Oh, that would have went. That would have went
God, that
crazy.
would've been so crazy.
Yeah, that would have went crazy.
I was
You'd have
on a
caught
boat.
you'd have caught a nice little wine
I would have
to
been
that
like,
one.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
I was
nah,
like, God damn, why can't I get to like 2 weeks sooner? But
Thanks, man.
yeah,
goodie right there.
I do want to talk about that. I want to highlight that really, really quick because, like Alex said, you can tap into different genres. And me being a fan of so many different sounds, so many different artists. Again, literally, no lie. I posted this on my story. I started my workout listening to Maroon 5, and I ended listening to Obi Trice.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit.
Hell yeah.
What the fuck?
I did.
Yep.
That is the range that I have in my life.
Mhm.
So I appreciate people who can
Yeah.
capture that type of range
Yeah.
and not change who they are, right?
Yeah.
You are one of those people. Again, I told you I'm a thief, nigga. I'm a steal. All right. So if I get in the booth, just know I'm gonna be making the same type of music you make, motherfucker. Because
All
that
good,
shit
man.
hard. I love it.
Thank
You gonna put this
bro.
shit in AI, right? You
Thank
gonna
you,
AI the
bro.
beat?
You're damn right.
I know.
Wait,
I know.
Alchemist told us we can get AI.
Hey, bro.
Right, Rainey?
Shit. Hey, man. Look, hey, Al. Hold on. I don't want to jump
we
around too much,
We gonna
but
get in there.
but we'll get there.
But
Yeah.
just really quick, I just want to talk about the song that you got dropping. Promote that. Let us know the feel, the vibe. Because when I listen to it, there's 2 songs in one.
Mhm.
I love that feel. When the first half of me definitely gave me Bad Bunny vibes,
Mhm.
which is something that again, it's summertime. There's a heat wave outside.
Yeah.
I'm outside drinking Presidente. My nigga. Like,
Presidente.
I'm here. You feel what I'm
that's
saying?
That's the biz.
And,
Yeah.
and I love that you're able to kind of intertwine the sounds of Latin culture
Mhm.
even in one song. So just let the audience know what that song is about. How did you come up with that? When does it drop?
Yeah.
All of those things.
So it's called Malona. Malona is just like a baddie, like a brat. Like a bratty, you know what I mean, little bad joint.
Yeah, we love those.
Yeah. So and I came up with it because I bought this loop pack. Just like a bunch of like R&B sort of loops or whatever. And it had no drums on it or nothing like that. It was just kind of like the vocals and like some of the melodies and like the strings and stuff. And then I put my own drums over it. I retimed it and everything.
Nice.
But it came to be because like pretty much since like work, people have been begging for like a song of the summer. They're like, yo, so damn, we ain't had a song of the summer in like 2 years type shit, so some shit like that. Like, so it was kind of making that track was sort of my answer to like Uptown Summer vibes, you know? Like,
Uptown Summer
yeah, like even if it stays regional, like even if it don't, you know what I mean? Like as long as that shit is buzzing Uptown, as long as people are fucking with it Uptown, it's like that's all. Like I said, my one listener, like Ka said, you know what I mean? R.I.P. Brownsville Ka. But like,
oh wow, yeah, R.P. Ka.
yeah. So like he said, you know, my one listener, and that's who I do it for. I do it for my one listener. I do it for the Dominican girl. You know what I mean? Like
too.
gluing. I do it for the Dominican girl gluing down her baby hairs type shit with the, you know what I mean, with the toothbrush. I do it for Shorty getting ready for work at 6 a.m, bumping my shit on her phone speaker while she's doing her makeup and shit. Like
vibe.
my one listener, you know. I'd like so with the track itself, Malona. It starts off, like you said, Bad Bunny vibes, slower sort of R&B, reggaeton, you know what I mean? Like island vibes type shit. Like I don't know if you peep, but I threw the Coolie rhythm in there. You know what I mean? I threw the Nina Sky, slowed, you know what I mean? In
Trust
there.
me, I was begging for the hookah. Okay. I was begging for the hookah for the first half, and then you know what you did on the second half?
Went crazy.
Made me beg for the hookah again. I said, oh shit.
Took you to the
double up.
Nigga, when that beat dropped,
Yeah, man. I took it to La 42, man, you know?
Shit.
I took it to Maquiteria with it and shit. But so that second half is Dembo. So there is a transition. It's a 4-minute track. And it's just one of those ones that it's like, you know, it's a roller coaster. It's like the ride doesn't stop until it stops.
Yeah.
You know, you get in that motherfucker, you strap in, and for 4 minutes, I'm taking you on a summer journey.
Literally.
And it drops July 1st everywhere, just in time for July 4th weekend. So if you run into it, it's called Malona. Definitely a much different vibe from Cigarettes with Dead Men, for sure.
yeah, no, it's different.
1,000%.
Remember, I told you that was boom bap. This was everybody, you know, shake your ass
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's for the tutis, man.
for the
That's dope.
tooties.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what we doing for.
This one, you know what I'm saying? This one for the tooties that like to shake ass, bro. Like that's who this one is for.
Shout out to the tooties of the 304.
You know, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's like who I am. That speaks to who I am.
Yeah.
And like in that, I'm gonna give you a piece of. I feel like there's a piece of me for everyone, and I can relate to everyone in some way.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you like comic books? That's my shit. You like TV and film? That's my shit. You like reggaeton? Peep this track. You like the drumless shit? You like boom bap? You fuck with SD? Like, here, look, I got a track with bro and them. So, that's kind of just that track coming after Cigarettes with Dead Men is just an example of sort of how I move around. You know, it's just like, the range.
It's a full example of your range, and I love
Thank
that.
you, man.
That's
Thank you.
fucking fire, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, so one of the gripes that I have with myself, with my life, with my DNA, with my genetics, with my dad, with my mom, I can't really get crazy with my facial hair like that.
Oh, I see.
But like, I'm jealous. So I'm gonna tell you the first instance of jealousy that I had. Johnny Depp.
Oh,
he
boy.
has
Cause he could get freaky with the facial hair,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
look who Savon jealous of.
Yo, crazy. Yo, but you know who?
It's the range.
But listen,
I appreciate it.
But you know how you know what's crazy though? You know who might be the coldest motherfucker of all time?
Who?
And he got the patchiest beard in the world?
Tell me.
Keanu Reeves.
Yo, I never paid attention to Keanu Reeves patches.
His shit don't connect at all.
Shout
his
out
shit
to
patchy
Neo.
as hell.
It don't.
You know what I mean?
The
Shout out to
original.
Neo. Shout out to John Wick himself, bro. His shit don't connect.
Why didn't I ever
crazy,
realize
you know what I
that?
mean?
I never thought about that either.
I
Yeah.
never realized. He's
Yes.
too busy killing.
Don't ever let that stop you, kid.
Thank you, brother. Thank you,
You're my
brother.
Lona too.
Thank you.
You know?
I just learned the shit.
I know.
Yeah, man.
Too.
Real quick, we touched on it for a second, but I do want to talk about your exchange with the Alchemist. The Alchemist.
Yeah.
As we call it, Alex.
And
Again, what's up?
No, that's exactly what I wanted to speak on. There's been so much talk about AI as of late, right?
Yeah.
The dangers of doing it, the importance of incorporating it because it's already been done.
Yeah.
I do want you to speak to your exchange with the Alchemist and how it started. I saw where it started, but I'd rather you just say it.
Yeah. Okay. So, and by the way, just to make a distinction, right? There is a difference between like AI that's AI as a tool,
Yes.
and then like generative AI.
Yes. Like
So-
like auto-tune is AI as a tool.
Yeah, auto tune, or even just like mastering software,
Sure.
like Ozone.
Yes.
Ozone 11, yeah.
Yep.
Ozone 11 has a feature where it's like, oh, play the loudest part of your song,
Yeah.
and we'll boost it for you. But that's a tool to sort of guide you in the direction of like what you want your master to sound like.
Exactly.
I almost never I will never export a master based on that initial that sort of initial AI sort of like output.
Yeah.
Like I will always use that as a blueprint for my final master with my own ear.
Got you.
That's an example of AI as a tool, right? Generative AI, however, exists in a space where it is being trained on human creation.
Yeah.
But it's hijacking that sort of it's hijacking people's art and then cutting them out of the process. That's the unethical part of it. That's the issue, right? It's like we saw the same shit with Timbaland.
Timbaland, yeah.
Yeah.
With
We spoke about
Timbaland.
that last week.
Yep.
Gucci dropped a video with AI all over that shit.
Yeah.
And so now that we've got the generative AI explanation out of the way, the Alchemist and Erykah Badu have been working on this album together for a while. It got announced last year or the year before. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it got announced recently, and they dropped a single for it. And the single was accompanied by some art, which I suspected was AI already. But I was like, let me not put that on them. But then they dropped the visualizer on YouTube. And the visualizer had all the trappings of AI fucking slop.
What's the name of the song? Just so I could do my own
Oh,
research.
fuck.
If you don't have
I'm
it, it's fine.
No, we'll find
But
it in a
it's
second.
Erykah
Yeah,
Badu
well,
and The Alchemist.
It's Erykah Badu
And I
and the
really like the
Alchemist.
song,
Yeah,
too.
it's
I'll feel you in a second. I got you.
All right, but so while Alex is looking for that, the song is dope. But the visualizer had AI all over it.
Next to You is the song.
Next to You.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, Alchemist sort of chilling, Erykah Badu sort of chilling, doing her singing thing. But they're like sort of they're animated in this sort of like Disney-esque kind of like old school cartoony sort of Disney
Black and
vibes.
white.
Yeah, black and white vibes, right? And I tweeted that I was disappointed because I was like, yo, I feel like if anybody should be against generative AI in their art, period, it would be the two people that put the most work in when it was the hardest to do the art. Like you know what I mean? Like Alchemist is part of that school of artists that were really going to record stores
Yes.
and really crate digging for real because they had no choice. Like that's how you had to get the samples. You know what I'm saying? And throwing that shit on the record player, putting the record player through the recorder, and then you know what I'm saying?
And creating the sound.
Yeah, like bro, no, like these are two artists that know what it's like to put in the work from the ground up when it's the hardest, when it was the hardest it ever was. So I just thought that those two people would have an appreciation for that process, so much so that they wouldn't let it be sullied by this generative AI garbage. I was wrong, and I let my feelings be known. And I was like, hey, like, not trying to tear y'all down, but this is just very disappointing. And Alchemist responds to me, and he's like,
This is on
Twitter.
X, Twitter, whatever
I'm
you
never
call it.
calling it X, bro.
Same.
I've
been telling you.
never calling that shit X, bro.
I can't do
Mama
it
call
either.
him Twitter. I'ma call him Twitter.
Alright, let's do it.
Yeah.
On the bird, on the bird.
Listen, man, that app is the only thing I will ever misgender in my life, bro. That shit Twitter, bro.
You're stupid.
Fuck out of here.
Hey,
That
man.
shit is Twitter.
I
I'm with
still
you.
call it Twitter.
Mama
Mama
named him Twitter. I'ma call him Twitter.
That's
But yeah, so he responds, he's like, oh, funny how you didn't say anything about the music. This is interesting. So I respond back and I'm like, yo, bro, like, it's not even, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to get one over on you. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm telling you this. If anything, I'm telling you this because I respect you. Like, because you're someone I look up to. And like, I don't want you to be on the wrong side of history with this shit. Right? Then he starts like going off on this like kind of tirade a little bit. Subs me for no, like right after he tweeted his response to me, he was like, oh, by the way, make sure that you're listening to the track when you're writing your commentaries.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so
I wouldn't expect Alchemist to be that
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. But
yeah.
in his follow-up tweets, he was like, "Oh, I'm on a flight to Japan. This is my in-flight entertainment." So he's going back and forth with a bunch of people.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the basic gist of all of it was just like, "Yo, Unc, like, don't go out like this. Like, don't be defending AI." And you know, he has some tweets that were like, "Yo, Grandmaster Flash, you shouldn't be sampling because like you're stealing or whatever." And it's like, "Yo, bro, come on. You of all people should know that that's not the same thing."
Not the same thing.
Not at all.
You know it is.
He also had like another tweet that was like, "Yo, your phone is AI. Did you ever think about that? Like this conversation is so stupid, right?" So you know, he went on and on and on and on. I say nothing. I went in the digital crate, found a sample I liked, flipped that bitch, wrote, recorded, mixed, mastered all of it, because I took it personal when he was like, "Yo, you ain't say shit about the music." And then he like went off on his little tirade. I took that personal because I've interacted with Alchemist. I've tried to interact with Alchemist on many occasions on Twitter, on his sort of like, because you know when he does that thing where he's like, "Yo, you have an hour."
Yeah.
Like
go.
Yeah. Right. I've responded to those. I've sung Alchemist praises many a time. The one thing you respond to, bro, of all the things that I've said about you and all the things that I've said to you is some pretty light fucking criticism and some pretty light and honest criticism. Not reactionary, not incendiary. I wasn't trying to clip farm. I wasn't trying to, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to get clout off a viral tweet. I'm genuinely just like upset that one of my, you know what I mean? That one of my goats is moving like this. But he just kind of got petty about it. And I was like, "Oh, you want to talk about the music? Let's address it in the music."
Yeah.
So I made a track that I haven't named yet.
I was gonna say it's an untitled track.
It's
I
untitled.
didn't know how to
Yeah.
introduce it.
Rainey spun.
I did listen to the entire song multiple times.
Oh, thank you, man.
I think it was really heartfelt. I think it was really honest.
Yeah.
Right. I think it was really honest about the place of AI and how you feel, because we had a conversation on a previous episode about Timbaland and his stance on AI, right? Timbaland, I think he's a little bit more mainstream than somebody like an Alchemist, but they're both equally important to their crafts and their genres.
Culturally important,
right?
Yeah.
And so when you see the people at the top of the food chain, the 1%, let's call them the 1%, right, of producers, because you only get in this rare air when they are the ones defending, promoting, using AI as a vehicle opposed to a tool. It makes things a little bit dicey, a little bit tricky for those who appreciate it for what it is, which is the art, which is the craft, which is the process, all of those things. So I did listen to the track. I do have it here. I do want to play a line of it really
Give
quick.
him some.
But again, I didn't know what to call it because you didn't title it.
So the working title is Equivalent Exchange, but honestly, like, it's not. Oh, and you know, and another thing, because everything I do is layered. That on the cover, it's a picture of Scar from Full Metal Alchemist.
Got it.
And so Scar in that anime, he is staunchly against state alchemists because
you're good.
Because the country where he's from, Ishvala, was systematically genocided by state alchemists.
Look at the symbolism.
Right. So, you know, I just peppered that in there as a little.
That's deep.
You know what I mean? We could take it there if you want to.
Please, but if you're listening to
don't
the
play
podcast,
with these rappers, man.
Go tap in on Rainey's page, listen to the entire track. But I do have a moment that I did clip that I do want to speak to specifically, because I feel like it's all encompassing of the message that you were trying to kind of put out into the world, into Alchemist.
Yeah.
You better tell him, Rainey.
That when I heard that line, again, I listened to this one track multiple times, but when I heard that specific line, I said, "Oh, this is the summary, right? If I had a one-liner of what it is you're trying to say, those bars are the bars that I would put in front of somebody to say, this is the message. It's not about the theatrics. It's not about
It's not a diss.
It's not a diss.
It's not a diss.
And
how you feel as a fan.
a ton of respect and reverence
Yeah.
for the Alchemist throughout this one song. But that particular bar, that particular line, it said, oh, he's really about the arts, the craft.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not, and like, I mean, I said it all over the song, like I'm giving you your flowers, but like, yo, it's like sitting down like your stubborn uncle about like some new age shit that he don't really. It's like trying to walk your friends out of like some problematic shit, like some problematic views or like whatever.
Because you love your friends.
Because you love your friends, and you would do the same thing, like yo, OG, we not really on that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like love and respect, bro. Like, but this is why this is harmful, and like this is why this hurts you too. You know? So yeah. So and it's funny because like people were responding like, yo, like this might be the hardest like diss track ever. I'm like. And I keep correcting people. I'm like, it's not a diss, but thank you. Like, I appreciate it, but it is not a diss. Like, we need to make that clear. I thought I made it clear. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, like, I'm like, it's that rapper shit where it's like, yo, I don't give a fuck if I have one listener, shout out to Ka, or 1 million listeners. Like, I'm going toe to toe with anybody can get it. Really?
Yeah.
You know? And like it's not even like a braggadocious thing. It's like, bro, I know my pen is like
elite.
There's only like there's only like 2 rappers I'm afraid, like 3 I'm afraid of, 2 of which are no longer with us.
Okay.
But it was Doom, Ka, and Rock Marcy.
R.I.P. So the 2 people you named are from our sides in Long Island.
Yeah. Oh shit.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
MF Doom from Freeport.
I'm
from Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Rock Marcy's from Hempstead. That's down the block from me. So that it's influence in the building.
It's influence, man. Yeah. No, Rock is the only living rapper that I'm afraid of.
You should be.
Bro, it's crazy.
Any nigga that could rap 30 metaphors.
Yeah, it's
without
ridiculous.
No drums. Clear the way.
Bro.
Sure.
Yo, he said cops tried to pinch us. We was piled up in my mama's Sentra.
Stop it.
I had to 9 with the condenser.
Like,
stop it.
It's just like
we'll be here all day.
Yeah, man.
We'll be here all day.
Rock will say some regular shit and make it sound so baller, bro. Like, fuck you, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wish I could talk about normal shit and make it sound as cool. Like, or I wish I could talk about some lit shit and like he either talks about normal shit like it's some gangster baller shit to do, or he'll talk about some gangster baller shit like it's normal.
Exactly.
And it's like, fuck, dude. Like, how do you do
He's
both?
a master of his craft.
Yeah, dude. So well, yeah, man. But yeah, so yeah, you know, I let Alk know, and you know, listen, Alk kind of all like if this was anything. Alk already won because he hasn't responded and he doesn't have to.
No, it's not.
You know, but it's not about that.
Yeah,
it's not. It's more about the fact that like I just wanted this track to exist, like all my music, because I'm surprised I haven't heard this yet.
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised I haven't heard a rapper dive into the dangers of AI and addressing it. You know, it just so happened that Alchemist was the vehicle,
right?
So it helped to have someone to speak to. In the music, but I'm just so shocked that a rapper hasn't tapped into.
There's a larger conversation.
Yeah.
There's a larger conversation to be had.
For sure.
And Alchemist was the driving vehicle that got us to the conversation. But in your mind, it's like, yo, we should have been talking about these things because AI, it is detrimental and it can be harmful to art.
Yeah, that shit is.
Like, imagine from our standpoint, from my standpoint, because both of you guys are in music, but from my standpoint, imagine if AI took over podcasting, right? Imagine if there was an AI podcast that gave you the fresh takes,
right?
Every week. Like it's just like, wait, hold up. Yeah, it's AI, and maybe it's good, maybe it's great, but it's not coming from an authentic place. It's not coming from a soul. It's not coming from a human. And that's the danger in these conversations when it comes to music, when it comes to film, when it comes to TV. Like I remember when I was working at HBO, I was working there during a lockout year where people were holding out. The unions were like, hey, we are going to hold out until we figure this out within the union. AI cannot infiltrate writing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's important.
Yeah.
Because if I'm just somebody on the street and I have an idea, I have a concept, I can just type that concept in. I can type those whatever bullet points that I want in and say, hey, create a 98-page script and give it to me, where they stood on business, and that's why I'm always hesitant to become a part of the music industry, because I feel like the music industry is the only industry that doesn't necessarily stand on business
at all.
No,
right?
not at all.
Because
Not at all.
everybody wants the chains, the looks, the billboard. Like, it's actually funny because I did want to talk to you about Cardi B for so many different reasons. One, because you're in music. Another, obviously, she's a Bronx native. She's Dominican. She announced
High Bridge royalty right there. You know
HB, what up?
She's one of the ones. Like, she's literally one of the ones, right? Like, even when I see somebody like a Cardi B and she announces her album, and she played the game. She manipulated the system with how she announced her album. She said, hey guys, I'm dropping an album. But the singles on this album already are platinum singles.
Yeah, right.
From years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Which is a common practice.
I don't.
Well, not that long.
5 years is a long time.
5 years
That's
is crazy.
a long time.
That's my thing, though.
Especially,
I think that's more the label at work.
But especially in internet years.
Yes.
Like 5 years might as well be a decade on the internet.
Absolutely.
Bro, wow.
Absolutely.
Do you remember what was like?
That was it.
That was
2021.
In a whole lifetime ago.
Yeah.
Legit, right? Like, music is in dog years. So for her to announce the album and say, hey guys, these are the songs that are gonna be on this 23-song album.
Yeah.
And they're 2 songs that already are platinum, which gives her an advantage in her album sales, because if she were to drop her album today and none of the other songs performed at all, she would have a platinum album because of 2 singles.
Right.
Absolutely.
So referencing that back to AI, it's like, I just think we need to be careful with these things. I think we need to have responsible conversations. And to your point, speaking to Alchemist, who is one of the GOATs, one of those, he's one of those ones. For you to call him out in that way, a respectful way, I think that was super fucking dope and super important.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I agree. And real quick, to your point about that, I can't put too much of the onus on Cardi B, but he said something really big. He said the music industry. And it's the job for the label to protect one of their biggest assets, right? The way I see it is, although it does seem a little bit fucked up, if Cardi B flops, what is the rest of the building going to do? How do we expect the rest of the building to sell if we allow for her not to have astronomical numbers? To the point about Alk and Timbaland, for me, what really frustrates me is I think the reason why they're going through with these things is because they've already made it. And that bothers me a lot, because I feel like if they were the new producer of today, who was trying to figure out their sound, garner artists to work with, and create these everlasting music and songs, they wouldn't do this.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's that. Would you agree with that? Do you think it's on this because they've already made it? They've made the millions.
Of course,
he said it.
Of course, and I get into that on the track. It's like, one less, like, nobody's willing to say this, so leave it to me. One less artist eats when you feed the machine.
Right.
Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, yo, and honestly, yo, this might be, I said this shit in the studio earlier. Like, I was rapping with my bro. Shout out to Cash Only Deli. But like, I said this shit in the studio, bro. Like, I didn't expect this from Alk as much, but I did expect it from Timbo. And the reason I expected it from Timbo, you know why?
That's funny.
Because he didn't crack with, I mean, he kind of did. He found relatively moderate success, because relative to his later success, right? He found relatively moderate success with Missy and Aaliyah, right? But when those numbers started decreasing, who he went and got?
Justin Timberlake.
And Nelly Furtado.
JT.
And Nelly.
I remember that era.
Who he went and got them people.
The pop stars.
Pop stars.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
when this shit
got
wasn't
no money.
Come on, bro. Come on.
That was that era.
I ain't got no car to take you on a date.
Like I was like, Tim, is that you?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Or when he hit the
Even the fuck, what's that? Did he do AO Technology with 50?
Yeah, he was
And-
AO Technology.
It was Timbo
beat.
It was
But
him,
even
Timbo, and
My
Justin.
Love. I'm thinking of My Love.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
Love,
yeah.
with T.I. and Justin
Yeah,
Timberlake.
yeah.
Like, yeah, he's AI. Low-key. The nigga might actually be AI.
You know
Now
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
about it.
Yeah, and like to your point of like the music industry not standing on business, that's why like I'm not in a rush to engage with the music industry. I like to think of myself as an industry that makes music. Me personally.
Yeah,
I stand on my own
absolutely.
10.
Because you're
'Cause
not a part of a big label conglomerate.
And
you're independent.
I'm also just in too many pockets.
Yes.
To be considered
Yeah.
any one thing. I quite literally am an industry. Like
absolutely.
I'm in podcasting, in music, in content creation,
An
in
anomaly in
TV and
itself.
film. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like I just happen to make music. I have like that's a passion I happen to have.
Facts.
And I would like to engage with a music industry where you can disagree with your elders and gatekeepers and still preserve the potential. Because that's the thing, bro. Like, I'm from the Bronx, bro. I ain't never been a dick rider in my fucking life, bro.
Ever. I
Ever
don't
in
even
my
know
life,
how
bro.
to do it.
I don't know how to do that,
My
bro.
body starts shaking.
Like,
I can't do it.
I can't say.
People be wanting me to do it, Rainey. I can't. I don't know how to do it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I don't fuck with the music industry.
You know what I mean?
It's hard
Bro.
for me.
It's
really
a whole
tough.
lot of bro.
Bro.
It's a lot of people saying that they the realest in the room, realest to ever do it. But then why you switch up when such and such show up?
Yo.
It's the Pusha T and Travis
Yo.
Scott conundrum,
bro.
right?
Shit
And
is
that's
sick.
one of the references that I have for Pusha T.
Shit is
It's like
sick, bro.
that at the core of his issue
Mhm.
with Travis Scott. Right? Because everybody's like, oh, wait, why did you diss Travis Scott? You're a real like MC and he's just like a pop star, right? But the core of that issue is you're a dick rider.
Yeah,
Yo.
and why?
And I can't do it.
And yo, why you always in it, gang?
Yo.
Why you always in the middle? Why is somebody? Why is there always a diss to somebody in a Travis Scott song?
Yeah.
Talk
And
about
why?
it.
And why are you?
Why you
like,
always the catalyst?
I don't know, bro. Like,
He always the
listen, I'm
catalyst.
not. Listen, but this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, I should be able to sort of respectfully have. I should be able to hold a respectful suspicion of things, and also still be able to preserve any sort of potential in that, right? That's why I approached the Alchemist track the way I did.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yo, like, I'm not about to jump out the gate, oh, fuck you, Alk, whatever, like, you know, because I don't want him to, I want him to hear me, right? And if he's offended first, he's not going to be as open to what I'm saying for real.
Exactly.
And like, it's the same, like, Push gonna feel how he feels about Travis because they have that personal relationship. I feel how I feel about Travis as a consumer.
Right.
And as a consumer of the music, why is Drake on your song dissing people that you have other songs with? And then why are you then dropping songs later on? Like, what was the Drake one?
Meltdown?
Check Silver Stripes. That's what I like. Yeah, that's what I like. Right?
That's the Travis
Astro
Scott.
World.
That's a
what's the big one? It's the big one.
It's the single.
it's the
Fuck,
one.
we all know
It's
it.
the
But
single.
it's right there in the tip of our tongue.
What's it? Sicko mode.
Sicko mode, right,
Sicko
right.
mode. It's the big one.
Why are you as like Kanye's young
Protege.
sort of protege? Why are you like the guy Kanye took under his wing type shit?
Right.
Why do you have a song with his biggest op first of all, and then then in the track it's about him creeping through Calabasas trying to go to Kiki house?
Yeah.
That's like as a consumer and a rapper to me that's like weird. That's
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I agree.
You know, it's like you're just after the bag by any means necessary. And Push is right, bro. That's not somebody I want next to me.
No, not at all.
So,
Not at all.
You know?
You have siblings at all?
yeah. I got, I'm Dominican, brother. I got, but that's a layered statement. What I mean by that is,
I'm Dominican, bro.
what I mean by that is like there's different parents with different kids across different
for sure,
families,
of
you know.
course,
So
of
it's like
course.
a blended family. Like
Yeah,
there's my
yeah,
mom's
yeah.
kids, me and my sister, my stepdad's kids, his ex-wife's kids.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? So we all grew up together.
When I ask,
Yeah.
do you have siblings? It's in relation to, is there a sibling that pops into your mind when I say, do you have siblings, right?
Mhm.
Because, again, I understand there's blended families, mixed families, all
Yeah.
of those things. But a lot of times, and again, me seeing Pusha T and Malice in the studio together, I'm like, oh, this is a brotherhood.
For real, yeah.
They are like, it's not like, yo, this my bro.
No, they're locked in for
I
real.
am my brother's keeper is the sentiment. And so I find a lot of the people that I connect with, a lot of the people that I respect, a lot of the people that are in my immediate circle have the understanding because they come from a brotherhood, a sisterhood, where there's a built-in loyalty or just understanding. You know what I'm saying? That's why I asked, because you get it, right? Like Travis Scott, you make amazing music. You're good. You're great. Drake, you make amazing music. But there's just certain holes in the story.
Yo, you good? I don't got no brothers and sisters. I'm solid.
No, I know. No, but that's not true. Because I'm gonna say it's not true.
What?
No. What I mean by it's not true that you do have brothers. Because every time I step out with Alex, he's with two people.
Yeah,
it's with his guy Just or it's with Steph.
No, that's not true.
When I see you, I said.
Yeah.
That's not true?
No, yeah, sometimes.
No.
Savon, I have mad different friend groups. That's just one of the friend groups, you know.
I said when I see you.
That's what I said sometimes.
Who do I see you with?
You might see me with them.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No, come on, I got some other people.
He's trying to be mysterious and shit.
Like, no.
He's like, yo, Alex and this motherfucker like, yeah, you never know who I'm going to pop out with.
But that's not the truth.
my tagline, too.
Because when he pops out and when I see him, there's two guys that I know.
But what I'm saying is I don't have any siblings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
talking about siblings.
I'm talking about brotherhood.
But you have chosen family.
I'm talking about brotherhood.
I have chosen brotherhood and family.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly my point. Really, really quick, because there's a few talking points that we didn't get to, but it's okay. Because hopefully,
we can lightning round that shit.
Hopefully, exactly.
Yes.
And outside of the lightning round, so this is what we like to do. We like to steal.
No. We're not going to steal. Come on, don't say that. His people listening.
We do invite, we have an open invitation for you to come back for
thank
whatever
you guys.
reason.
For sure.
Please.
Hell yeah.
Will you join us again?
I'm super with
Please, for
I'm
sure.
super with that.
I do have a really quick lightning round. Well, we do want to tap into Dominican culture and some of the prominent figures in the Dominican American culture, so to speak. And I do want to highlight the ladies specifically.
Okay.
I do. Okay. So we're going to give you a trivia round when it comes to two particular Dominican celebrities.
Okay.
Hello.
One being Zoe Saldana, who she is one of the ones. What's crazy? What do they call it? 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So my brother's best friend is cousin with Zoe.
Oh shit.
Which is
Yeah, small world, dude.
It's like
That's
fucking
crazy.
insane, crazy. Like every time I see her on the T-Mobile fucking commercial, I'm like, whoa. Like I know somebody who knows her. Like she's super dope. But she's one of the biggest actresses in the world, and she is Dominican. So I do want to give you a little bit of trivia. We're gonna make this really quick between her and Cardi B. Again, we're gonna highlight the ladies during this segment. There's a ton of guys, ton of culture to be represented in the Dominican culture, but I just want to focus on these two.
For sure.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
For trivia. Cool. Let's start with Zoe. All right. Rainey. Which 3 blockbuster franchises has Zoe Saldana started?
The MCU, she was Gamora.
Wait. Oh, goddamn. Wait.
Nigga, good.
there
were multiple choice.
He's so good.
Okay.
You did that.
Okay.
You did that.
He's a
all right?
multiple choice.
Cool.
That was one.
No, that was definitely one. So I'm going to give you multiple choice options, and you tell me which is correct.
Okay.
All right. So we got A, Fast and Furious, Marvel, Star Wars. We got B, Avatars, Star Trek, Marvel. We got C, Hunger Games, Avatar, X-Men. And we have D, Twilight, Marvel, Star Trek. Give me the correct answer.
Avatar, Star Trek, Marvel.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah. I remember her in all 3 of those.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Now,
she did the damn fucking. You know she was in that mocap suit like. Yeah, she was giving Steven Spielberg everything. She was like, "They're going to destroy our people." I was like, "Yeah, Zoe, you better get that shit."
Yeah, tell him.
Blue ass. You better blue ass. You better get that
never
shit.
looked so good,
You know what I mean? Like,
it's dope, and maybe I shouldn't have underestimated you because the next question that I had, actually, you answered it. in your eager response to your premature response to my question, which was, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, who does Zoe Saldana portray?
Yeah, Gamora.
And Gamora was the correct answer. I'm so happy you knew that.
I was
I put that in there just to test him.
Yeah, man.
Because if you didn't know that,
That's
you
a
didn't know.
Nah, that would have went crazy. That would have been crazy.
It would have been like, yo, come on.
Yeah.
now.
Alex,
All right.
we got another one.
Yeah, we do. Now, we mentioned we're going to get you two people. The second one is going to be Cardi B.
Oh, wait, real quick, before we get off of Zoe,
Yeah.
I have like level 3.
Oh, shit. Yeah, yeah, let's do it.
Let's see if you can get to it.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What is Zoe Saldana's estimated total global box office gross combined from all of her films?
He trying you.
Okay.
You heard the question.
Mhm.
Okay. Is it A, 3 billion, B, 6 billion, C, 8 billion, or D, over 11 billion?
Mm. Total
You said-
gross?
You said Avatar, Star Trek, Marvel. Think about that number. And
Hold
yes,
on. Total gross
Total-
in her pocket?
total global box office gross. Total box office
Total
gross.
box office gross.
Yes.
I want to say
Do you
8 billion.
you need 8 billion.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You know, man, I'm not mad at 8 billion because that is a large fucking
You know what I'm
amount.
saying? Yeah, like
Large amount.
That
it's
is
over
a-
11?
insane number, but Zoe's global box office
Yo.
is over 11 billion.
Oh, man.
God
Hey.
damn. Shout out to the Dominican
Shout
culture, man.
shout out to the culture, man. Shit.
Que lo
Some-
que, my man.
You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
Sometimes you got to do a little blackface. You know what I'm saying?
All
Like,
right. That was the makeup
listen,
artist.
bro. Listen.
That's the makeup artist.
Sometimes you.
That's not her decision. Okay,
Yo,
that's
Rainey
above her.
bugging, nigga. Some
Sometimes
blue
you just
face.
gotta-
She do green face.
She do green face,
Yeah.
exactly.
She
do green face.
She's equal opportunity.
Tunis.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Shout out to Zoe, man. 11 billion is insane. by the way.
It's a
Crazy.
large amount. It's a large
Crazy.
amount. All right, let's go to your other Dominican sister,
Mhm.
Cardi B.
Yeah.
All right, first question. Cardi B has collaborated with which one of these Latin music superstars? Is it A, Bad Bunny and J Balvin?
Mhm.
B, Romeo Santos? C, Savon's favorite, Ozuna and Daddy Yankee?
Mhm.
Or D, Karol G and Don Omar?
Huh.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Mhm.
Sorry, read them.
I got you. That's not a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not a
thank you.
problem. I got you. A, Bad Bunny and J Balvin. B, Romeo Santos. C, Ozuna and Daddy Yankee. And D, Karol G and Don Omar. You know this.
I want to say the first one.
Yeah, and you are absolutely
Yeah,
right.
it's the first one. Yeah,
and that was
yeah,
on
yeah.
her first album.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, I
yeah.
like it
Bad Bunny,
like
yeah,
that.
Bad Bunny and J Balvin, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
From now, I don't know
Yeah.
the words. I was about to act like I knew Bad Bunny part. I don't. All right, next question.
Yeah.
What makes Cardi B's Grammy win for Invasion of Privacy so historic? Is it A, the first female rapper to perform at the Grammys? B, first Dominican American to win Best New Artist? Or is it C, the first solo female artist to win Best Rap Album? Or D, first Latin artist to headline the Grammys?
It's B.
B, first Dominican American to win Best New Artist?
Yeah.
Hey, that is correct.
That is correct though.
But
Oh, but it's not the answer to that
to
question.
that question. Yeah,
Okay.
you will kill two birds with one stone.
Okay.
You
Wait,
are good for that.
So let me guess the other one then.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
And then what were the other three?
The other three was A, first female rapper to perform at the Grammys. C, first female rapper to win Best Rap Album. Or D, first Latin artist to headline the Grammys.
Probably D.
C, first solo female rapper to win.
Oh, it was
Best-
C. Okay. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
all right.
Yeah,
That's all
bet.
right.
See, I thought, you know what's crazy? I thought Nicki got it before that.
Don't forget though. First, oh yes, you're right, and that was probably
That's why
they
I
were-
didn't choose that.
because
Yeah.
you would have thought, and that's why
Just
Nicki has a lot
flashback.
of like
A lot of resentment.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, no, I get it.
I just got to
get it.
flashback to that time now.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Next one. You're doing all right now. I ain't gonna lie.
Thanks,
Nah,
man.
he's killing it.
He's killing it. We're gonna go to athletes.
Okay, sure.
All
I
right.
don't know shit about dick about sports.
That's
All right, you know
fine.
what?
Fuck it though. We
That
ball.
is fine.
So I'm gonna give you one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you one. Do you know? Because these are some of the more popular athletes, especially in basketball. Okay. And even if you don't have dick about dick, if you don't know dick about dick, it's fine. Somebody listening knows. Okay. Which NBA All-Star has Dominican roots through their mother? Okay. Is it A, Damian Lillard? Is it B, Devin Booker? C, Kyrie Irving? Or D, Jimmy Butler?
Fuck.
Do you know what any of these gentlemen look like?
I do. Yeah. I do.
These some. I should have threw LeBron in there.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
LeBron's crazy.
Imagine he's from Dominican.
Hold on. So it was Jimmy Butler, Devin Booker. Who else?
Damian Lillard and Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie looked Dominican as hell, bro.
Hey man, I ain't mad at it. He looked Jersey.
Yeah. Kyrie looked Dominican as hell.
Kyrie
looked Dominican as hell, but oh fuck, no, that wasn't my guess. My fault.
Okay. Fine.
No, it was I want to say Dame.
You know, I understand it.
Yeah,
but it is B, Devin Booker.
Oh fuck. Okay.
I didn't know this either.
I didn't know that shit at all.
I thought D-Book was...
I didn't know that shit at all.
Damn. Devin Booker's mother is Puerto Rican and Dominican.
Oh, fire. Okay.
According to Google.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't ask him this.
Damn,
himself.
we got hoopers too? Shit.
Hey, man. Y'all got it all.
Fire. Hell yeah. I'm with that.
That's
fucking got it all. Well, thank you, Rainey. It's been a pleasure having you here, man.
Thank you guys so much for having me, man. Seriously, I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, dude, it was this was incredible. We don't even shoot this long at Victory Light, so like I had a fucking blast.
My fault.
No. Don't even trip.
Get excited.
Nah, bro, don't even trip, bro. This shit is this shit was so much fun. Thank you for inviting me up here. Like genuinely, like I have been rocking with y'all for a while. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it would have been very dope to have the full ensemble. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, but I got the surviving cast. I got the surviving cast. I got season 8 of Need to Know. Yes, you know what I'm saying. So it's
7 because season 8 was terrible in Game of Thrones. So give me at least season 7.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Yeah, but I appreciate y'all inviting me up here. You know what I mean. But shout out to Reggie. Shout out to Eden. Shout out to everyone that's been involved in this shit, bro. Like you guys got a really good product, and you guys have awesome chemistry. And thank you guys for inviting me up here. I don't take this shit for granted.
Thank you, man. Thank you for pulling up. Like honestly, again, I'm like Alex said at the beginning of the show. We only really talk to the people that we want to. Yeah. Right. And that's the dope thing about a podcast. Like there's no label or there's no executive that says, hey, you have to do this today. Yeah. Right. It's like, hey, put this out. You're dope.
Listen, we think a great fit for the show, Kai Cenat. Now listen to me. Listen, Kai Cenat, like Savon. Listen, you're tapped into the culture, right? All right. So you know, Kai Cenat's got the numbers. I mean, this is what
how they fucking talk.
I mean, this is listen. Yeah. Listen, I'm a bit of a fan myself. All right.
Like they give you some new age info. Like they give you some groundbreaking shit. We know Kai Cenat is fucking popular.
Yeah, bro.
We don't have to do it. And so for you to pull up, this is really dope. It's an honor, and I cannot wait to continue to see what it is that you do. Again, like you said, shout out to anybody who contributed to the podcast. Eden, he made the connection. Reggie, she made the suggestion. Yeah. Again, that's me in the booth.
Yeah, man.
See what I did. Connection, suggestion. Yeah. Do you appreciate me, Alex?
I always do, brother.
My nigga.
Come on, man.
No, thank you for pulling up. Please let the folks know where they can find you.
Please.
Yeah, sure. My name is Rainey, at Rainey Ovalle. That's Ovalle. So at Rainey Ovalle everywhere. I do it all, man. I make music. I'm into TV and film. I got a content / gaming organization called Hearst Boys. We do a monthly or semi-monthly radio show at my crib called Hearst Boys Radio, where we have guest DJs and producers and rappers and stuff show up to my crib and just kick it, and we record for an hour plus. And that's our radio show. That's how you can engage with Hearst Boys. I also stream at Hearst Boys sometimes on Twitch, twitch.tv/Hearst Boys. Cigarettes with Dead Men is out everywhere now. Malona drops July 1st, just in time for July 4th weekend. It is the fucking song of the summer. It's what Uptown needed. I'm not saying that just because I'm saying it. These guys have heard the song. They know what type of time I'm on.
No, it's like that.
You know what I mean?
If you like any one of them Bad Bunny joints, you're going to like this.
You know what I mean? So, Malona drops July 1st. Cigarettes with Dead Men is out now for all of my drumless hip hop fans and aficionados. You know what I mean? And you can find me everywhere at Rainey Ovalle. But be sure to subscribe to the Need to Know podcast. This has been another great episode starring your hosts, Savon and Alex in the building.
Oh, he's great.
Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell icon for notifications for when we upload. This has been another episode of the Need to Know podcast. We'll see you guys next time.
Hey, I can't wait for him to come back.
Me too.
Oh, God.
I'm hyped.
We found him.
You sure you going?
Otra vez.
Otra vez. Otra vez.
Diablo, papi.
Sí, así.
Yo, Rainey, thank you for pulling up.
thank you,
It's been
bro.
the Need to Know podcast. What you need to know, when you need to know, on the Need to Know podcast. We will be back again, God willing, next week. Rainey, thank you so much for dubbing us the Game of
Thank
Thrones
you, bro.
podcast.
Yes.
I take that personally. As you all know, I worked at HBO for a long time. That is my favorite show of all time. So if I have to be Jon Snow, if he has to be...
I'm Tyrion.
Yeah.
Tyrion.
Fuck it, we ball, man.
Who are you?
Shit. Damn, who makes it to the
Podrick.
end? Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
no.
Podrick was putting it down.
Nah, Gendry.
Gendry.
Yeah, with the Warhammer. Come
Yeah,
on.
Gendry came
Gendry
back
with
on
the
some
hammer?
shit.
Hey,
Hold on.
man.
Literal with the literal hammer.
No, literally.
He like,
Yes.
with his pops
Yes.
Warhammer. Yeah, that's Gendry. That's
I like
me.
that.
Hey, on
Yeah.
this podcast,
I like
we
that.
got hammers, we got beef, we got shrimp, we got it all.
Whatever you
You know what I'm
want.
saying? It's been a Need to Know podcast.
Yes,
we will
sir.
catch y'all again next week. Thank y'all, man. Peace.
King.